as though I have conquered death. I live death every day. I am surrounded by it, smothered by it. Look at you now. He would have everlasting life. You seek to defy death, yet you cannot even defy sleep. And how alike sleep is to death. It is a painted death.
I remember childhood without any friends. Just me and my imagination. So I made up my own friend. Crim's my best bud. I don't know what I'd do without him. But there's some things we should keep locked away. Not the imaginary friends, but the imaginary fiends. Crim, where are you?
You think you are free, that your decisions are your own. Tell me honestly, did you really choose this path? Or was it chosen for you? Your father, with every triumph, every failure, was it not his decisions that brought you here? Has his path not sealed your own? Marked out in golden bricks below your very feet. The path is set. Keep your head up. Keep your weapon loaded. Follow the battle brick road.
Are you guys ready? Have all my Waffle Lodge people been waiting? I think you've earned this.
Good morning, come on in. Coffee's good, fresh and hot. There's a waffle in the baker on the grill. We're making bacon. You're always welcome back.
Charge! What is up, everybody? How are you doing? Welcome to the Late Night Waffle Lodge. I have missed you guys, and I was sitting around working on this and building out, intros and fixing the cheerleaders and making all of this stuff come together. And of course, as always, I'm going to be doing some artwork, but because I am over on StreamYard, I am able to have folks on. I'm able to share windows and talk about what's going on with all my brother's various campaigns, which I'm looking forward to doing. And let's see who we've got here in the chat. Holy cow. Yeah, you guys are right. What the heck? 2 streams in one day. We got Michael Bancroft in here. He's looking. He's watching. Always watching. Always watching. We got Cranberry Langers in the house. Wow to you, my friend. It's great to see you. We got American Comics Company. You're always in good company when American Comics Company's in the house. You, of course, Cranberry Langers just rocking the chat right now. Stephen Rockwood, drawing CYBERFROG.org, guys. Check it out. Buy some CyberFrog stuff. It's good stuff, man. It's never lost on Ethan any positivity, so send positivity his way, man. That's the way it is. You got to embrace the pain and death. Bradsky the Greatest here. I tip my cap to you, my friend. Jeremy Burt's channel member in the house. Look at all these fine channel members. Stephen Rockwood, first and foremost. Jeremy Burt's longtime channel member. Supporter Cranberry Langers is the same. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. Let's talk a little bit about art. Let's talk a little bit about Halloween. There's so much stuff I'm excited to talk to you guys about because it is the spooky season. It is the spooky season, and I have been thinking about just so many things that I'm excited about. I love this time of year. I just got a brand new Blu-ray today, which is an early 1900s film, The Golem, and it's inspiring something I'm working on right now. And yes, indeed, I've missed you saying this, American Comics Company. Pancakes and waffles and pancakes. You're absolutely right, man. Let's have a great time, man. There's so much cool stuff going on, so many great streams going on. Much love and respect to everybody doing their stuff. But I gotta tell you, I felt like I needed to do streams like this again and get myself, back in the zone. And a big part of that has been my excitement about freaking Halloween, man. I don't think cyberfrog.org is a real thing, but it would be funny. I bet you it is. He's got to have it by now, man. Come on. He's got to have it, Stephen Rockwood. But I started watching a lot of, horror movies. One of my favorite scary television shows, would you call it, or Netflix shows of all time. My daughter was watching it today. The Haunting of Hill House. If you've not seen it and you're in the mood for a really intense, creepy, I don't know what else I would say about it. I mean, it's just amazing kind of drama. Let me see if I can fix this, because I think I have my stream, what is it called? I always forget what it's called. What the heck is this thing called anyway? The OBS setup, which is very well named. I have it set up so that it will, it's cropped in on this image, and I want to make sure you guys can see it a little bit more, and I can make my train hat and all just a little bit smaller so you guys can get a better view of things. There we go. That's a little bit better. But yeah, man. So I've been sitting here and I've been living with all of these really cool turn of the century. I wouldn't say this is a horror movie, but it's more of like a fantasy monster movie, Dear Golem. And it's just like I said, I've got to paint it. I've got some ideas of something I might want to do with a golem-like character. So I started working on this, and if you don't know the story of that flick, it ended up being a huge inspiration for so many different films in the fantasy or horror genre. It was definitely an influence for the design of Frankenstein's monster in the Universal picture. But I want to make something that's cool. Like, I want to make stuff that could work in fantasy comics and adventure comics, a lot like Nosferatu. Nosferatu. So that's what I'm after. Shanth has been here soaking his hands in iodine. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, did you guys see that? Yeah, that's the color correction. So yeah, you're gonna get some pretty red hands in this. You caught me red-handed, Stephen Rockwood. Yeah, and that's the thing too, right? So my daughter is watching probably one of the finest scary, I guess we would say, horror themed Netflix shows of all time. And I think it's a masterpiece. And there's so many different things that I'm watching right now just to get myself, amped up about all this stuff. I think I mentioned in an earlier stream, if you look in the background, I just realized this is going to be a lot easier to do. Some things are going to be. But if you do, let me see, Artist Camp, there we go. If you look in the background right there, you can see right next to the Incredible Hulk right there, that is a maquette for the Guillermo del Toro show, The Strain, that was had a really great design for the main vampire. So yeah, I can't recommend it enough. Like, just surrounding yourself with the monsters and the ghouls this time of year, man. But yeah, so I'm doing what I do, and I think everybody is probably either at work, asleep, done streaming, taking a break, or blah blah. But we do have a room for the Waffle Lodge, so I just post a link to this if people want to come in and promote their wares. Either way, I'm going to be showing some of the stuff, the campaigns that we've got going on. But let me know what you guys are up to, man. Let me know in the chat. I felt really annoyed with myself because when I was doing the stream this afternoon, there were a bunch of people in the chat who were talking about how important story is to them when they're reading books. And I forgot to ask them, as soon as I turned off the stream, I forgot to ask them, what are your favorite stories? What are your favorite comic stories? Are they runs like by, Chris Claremont on X-Men, or are they single, issue prestige format stuff like The Killing Joke? And it just drove me nuts. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I found this new toned black mixed media paper, and it's really cool to work on. If you are looking to dabble in working on a black paper, I've put it through the paces already in the first couple of days working on it. I can't overstate how great it's been to work on. It's really fun, and I'm working with acrylics on it, so it's pretty decent paper. I mean, it can handle a lot of stuff, man. So yeah, if it's something that you're interested in trying, I highly recommend it. You know me, I'm never shy about, letting people know like what kind of materials I use if people have questions. And it's something I used to do when I was teaching, because I think sometimes it's easy to get frustrated when you're trying to get effect or you're trying to do something with your work, and because you have, maybe you don't know how to use the brush or what kind of brush to use with it, you just have a terrible time of it, and it just puts you back in terms of you get nervous about painting and working in traditional media. And so I think that that's something I would advise, people to do, is if you have a question, you see me working on something during a stream, and this happened earlier today too, feel free to ask, go, hey man, what should I use if I'm starting out? Like I use some really great, materials that aren't that expensive, but I've found they work. So when you're looking at this piece right here and you see, the sketch lines on it, well, those are in white because I'm working on black paper, right? Those are actually done in white. What I'm using for my white is a Crayola Twistable. So I'm using a white Crayola Twistable colored pencil. So they make these pencils. You can always you can turn the end, get more lead out of it, and they erase, and they're great. So they're colored pencils that you can actually render really well with. And here's the other aspect of them. They don't smear. So if you've ever used colored pencils and you found that they smear and it frustrates you, or you find you can't erase them because they're so dark into the paper, give these a shot. I've been using them, and they're great, man. So yeah, lots of cool stuff like that. Lots of cool stuff. But I'm excited because I was talking to some of my boys in the CG team room, and we were talking about all of the cool projects and things that we've got coming up, and I wanted to just get back into this groove so that when they want to come on and they want to talk about the stuff they've got going right now or they're going to have going, I wanted to create a space for them to do so, and that's really what it comes down to. I also wanted to have a place where people could just sit down, have themselves a nice waffle, and just relax. Just relax, guys, Enjoy the waffles. That's what we're here for. That's 100% what we're here for. So let me see here. Got this. But yeah, just to chill. I mean, it's so nice to chill at night and be able to hang out in this space. And, gosh, see how you guys are doing. Man, I tell you what, this year I jumped on it. Like some years I get around to Halloween time and I haven't done a thing. And this year I got out the decorations like October 1st. I was like, no, this year I'm doing it because I was working so hard on Nosfero for, the last two, Halloweens. I really didn't get a chance to get into the season. It's one of my absolute favorites. So I just figured, hey, let's do it this year. And, it's been a ton of fun. We're going to take a look at some campaigns here that I want to talk about because I'm excited. So much cool stuff going on, man. So much cool stuff going on. Let me see. There we go. Let me call up some windows because I realize I haven't done this. Okay, going to sleep, everybody. Have a good night. Stephen Rockwood, you sleep well, buddy. I know it's late. I gave you a stream in the earlier in the day, so I'll make sure I double it up. So if I do one of these, I'll get you one in the morning too. Take care, brother. I'll see you soon. So let me see here. Let me call up some stuff that you guys have seen. Here, let me see. There we go. Boom. Let's take a look. Oh, man, I'm so excited about this. I cannot wait for this to flip. It's going to be great. So anyway, let me show you what I'm looking at. So I'm going to go to present. Share screen. Let's see if you can figure this one out. Chrome tab. There it is, guys. Share. Here we go, guys. So let's talk about this for a second, guys. Battle Brick Road 2 by the great Eric Weathers. 490 backers. It is almost to 30K, guys. That is outstanding for the first time launching this on his own site, man. And yes, indeed. Good night, Stephen Rockwood. Much love. And I'm really excited about this book. I'm actually going to be working on a piece for the poster book. So if you back this book, make sure you consider getting that poster book in there because we're going to be doing some great artwork for that, man. And I cannot wait. I've got a bunch of different ideas. One of my brothers from another mother, the groomsman, had some thoughts on some things he'd like to see me do. Some flying chimpanzees, perhaps. So we will see. Flying monkeys / chimps. We'll see how it goes. So hopefully that will come out well, man. And we'll see. Like, if I can come up with a good idea for it. I honestly don't know what I want to do with it because I'm such a big fan of certain characters, but I think everybody's going to do those characters. So I'm thinking, oh man, I might need to do something that, I want to make sure that there's enough different kind of artwork in there so that you guys really enjoy it. And so we'll see. I want to make sure I bring my A game for it, Plus, it's that Kenneth Rocafort Scarecrow piece. I think he just did a great job. He nailed it shut on that one. So, who knows, man. I also really like the lion. That's because that's just right up my alley. But then, man, too many cool things in that book. So, yeah, guys, make sure you are checking out this book if you have not yet checked it out. It's almost a 30K. The great Eric Weathers. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Make it happen. And thank you guys for being here, by the way. Like I said, I'm just going to get myself into a groove with this stuff. And it's just about, just conditioning myself to get myself on a schedule and see what I can do with it. But I've got a few different things I'm working on right now. A few different stories. I've got Spring Ball, which I've been working on. I could show you guys some of that too. Let me see if I can do that, come to think of it. Gosh, I can see. I'm so like StreamYard has completely different capabilities than this does. So than Ecamm does. So I'm never really sure, I could do this, I could do that. Let me see if I can share that with you guys. Hang on a second here. Let's see here. Maybe there's a fun page in here I could show you guys. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Let's see if we can show you some Spring Ball stuff. Yeah, that's weird. I never even thought about that. I never thought I would be able to do this stuff. The tech has changed, guys. The tech has changed. Gosh, there's the Fun My Comic folder, which has got tons of stuff in there, tons of images, and then let's do Spring Ball issue 2, because this is one of the ones I'm really working on like crazy lately. So not there. Where's a good page? I love that page. Let me see. I know, you guys aren't seeing anything as I do this. Oh, yeah, that's a pretty crazy one. Let's open up these two, because these are really scribbly, so you'll get a look at what these things look like. What is up, Mighty Geek Studios? It is great to see you, my friend. We've got fun happening. We've got some late-night craziness, because we're going to be doing a little bit of late-night craziness. So, this is a look at my trackpad scribble process for those of you guys who are curious what that looks like. So let me see here. Present. Let's see. Share screen. Window. Grab this. Open. And let's add this. Let's switch me up here. This is I need a producer working on this stuff, man. What am I doing? We'll do artist cam so that this makes some kind of sense when it happens. And then we're going to add this to stream. There you go. So this right here is a look at what I'm doing when I'm working using my trackpad, and I'm essentially painting and sketching this stuff out. So this will give you a little bit of a look at what some of this stuff looks like. So for those of you guys who are excited about Spring Ball and what I'm doing with this is what the stuff looks like. What is up, First Watch Studios? It is great to see you, my friend. How are you doing on this fine Friday morning, I guess we would say, or Thursday afternoon, depending on how you roll. And so this is like, to say that I've got a bunch of different things I'm working on is putting it mildly, guys. There are a few things that I'm working on. And I'll show you a little bit about what I do when I'm doing this stuff. So yeah, for those of you guys who wondered, who have the questions, and you're just like, why do you use a trackpad, or how does that exactly work? I'll show you how it works. Here's a little walkthrough of what I do. It's quite simple, actually. In terms of, I don't use a lot of complicated stuff when I'm doing this. Let's see what we've got here. Let's see where you are, my friend. There we go. So we've got you. Look at this. Look at the fun. So all I'm doing is make sure I got the right color there. And make sure the setting is, let's put on 100 just to show this process. But when I'm sketching this stuff out, I basically just am using my trackpad and this particular brush to kind of build up the structure I'm working with. And this way, because this is such a small part of the page, I'm not going to get too into detail. I'm going to try to build up some of the more expressive lines of this. And this is what I like, because I get to paint a little bit more when I'm using Photoshop now than I did when I was, 20-something and I was working on this stuff. I was just a kid and trying to figure out, what I was going to do. And so when people ask me, what's it feel like to go back and work on this stuff, I'm approaching it from a painter's standpoint. And so that it's kind of, in some ways it's quite different, but then I'm approaching the lines. I basically do the lines like I do with my paintings, which is to say, I kind of just use it as the finished part. So I do it kind of backwards. I don't do a pen and ink thing and then color it. I do a painted thing and then I ink it, if that makes sense. And this sort of allows me to get, the details that I want to get into it. And that's why I say, whatever you're using, digital or traditional, it doesn't matter. It's ultimately about, the effect that you're going for when you're working. And so I think everybody should know both. I could not do any of the stuff I'm doing on YouTube with this. What in the blazes again? I've got a thug in here. I've got a Sith Lord. I know I lured him in here with this. No, I did. What's up, Michael? How you doing, man?
Yo. Waffle.
What's up?
I'm here for my waffles.
Yeah, you are, brother. Have you ever seen me do this before? I don't know if you have.
Do what? Do what you're doing right now?
Yeah, digital. Have you seen this before?
No. No, I haven't.
Yeah.
What is this weird...
It's a laptop
using
trackpad.
A computer? You know how to use a computer?
I do, man. Yeah, we couldn't survive without it. I always say you could tell, you can really tell people's ages, and I used to be, a bit like that, where, people come up to me and they go, so do you do computer art? And I just look at them like, you mean digital?
I do computer art.
Yes, you do.
Although I'm not as bad as Camel, who used to apparently draw with a mouse.
I draw with a trackpad, so I've got to be worse.
No, trackpads are superior than a mouse.
I guess they have the multi-touch, don't they?
Yeah, I've made my stance on that perfectly clear.
Oh, you did? Did it get ugly?
It did. I was in the minority, the overwhelming minority. But I just think it's like, there's a lot of ignorance out there. People don't know the power of a trackpad.
I don't like, look, I don't like... Go ahead, man.
It's like the Imperial system.
Yeah.
I don't judge you all for sticking with it. We stick with it on hype, so I can't really say anything.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I just feel like I'm not trying to throw stones, but there are a lot of white-faced dicks out there. I said it. You know? I said it. And I'm not taking it back.
What is this piece? What are you doing?
Oh, this is for the Spring Ball Terminal Monstrosity. So this is me going back into that book, and digitally, I'm basically reworking the story. I took the hand lettering I did, and I built a font for it, and so it's been a blast, man. I'm just kind of, just trying to just paint this stuff out, and I'm working backwards. So instead of what I used to do, which was pencil and ink, and then I would go in and I would, color it, I'm actually going and doing what I do now, which is in some cases, I'm leaving some of it there and I'll detail it up. But I'm going in and I'm just painting
over it.
And then I'm inking over it. Yeah. So this is all trackpad.
Man? On a
Dude,
trackpad?
on a trackpad. This is all trackpad.
It's like finger painting.
Yeah. Literally. I'm painting with my middle finger right now. It's true. Oh man. Yeah. It's what I mean, I know it sounds, I don't know how to describe it, man. It's like, listen, Michael, it's the only way I can be satisfied. If I do it with my whole hands, it's over too quickly.
Each to their own, Shanti. You do
it. Man. Well, you know what it is, too? What I love about this way of working? I totally judge you. This is nuts. See, there you go. White-faced dicks. That's right. That's actually the name of my motorcycle gang. It's, I'm giving myself accelerated carpal tunnel. Yeah, that's how you do it. But you know what it is? There's something nice about being able to work without a lot of gear. Working traditional, as because you've commissioned a painting, right? I love that. I love doing that work. But it's not because I don't like digital, because you've seen me. I love animating stuff. I love designing things for fun. I mean, I love that stuff. Although, I gotta be honest with you, I don't consider, what's it called? Clip Studio or Photoshop to be real digital programs. I think Illustrator is the only real program, baby. Vectors. If you're not doing vectors...
Infinite scale. Well, no.
Yes,
you
man.
are mistaken. Because Clip Studio does have vector brushes.
Excellent. Good.
So...
I'm going to call off the strike.
Call back the pitchforks. It's all right.
I know, exactly. It's going to be all right, man.
This is like madness.
What did I do? What?
This is madness.
Oh, what I'm doing
here? I went back
here?
and reworked a lot of my stuff that I'd flattened as well for Waking Dream, and it was an absolute nightmare to pick it all apart and rebuild. But that's what I did. I picked it apart and rebuilt it from the ground up.
Yeah.
I never even considered to just...
Don't worry, Luther. It's much worse than you think. It's what my response would be. Because this... I sent my files... This is going to hurt a little bit, but just take this in. I sent my files to the printer when I did this back in the day. I sent it to the printer, and I couldn't fit it all on zip disks. So the files I have were 175 DPI. Did you feel that?
Yeah, that's
I was young. I needed the money, Michael.
No, that back in the day, I mean, you had to consider space.
That's so embarrassing, man.
Zip disks.
It's rough. Because now, and I didn't know, I should also point out, I learned Photoshop on this job. So I did not know how to use Photoshop before I did this. And so I was teaching myself how to work in Photoshop. So this is me laying out Spring Ball Terminal Monstrosity in the format I do my books in. And I'm just kind of going through and taking this artwork, and when I get a chance, going in, reworking it. I'm gutting all of the text, but I'm still doing some kind of hand lettery stuff. But this is these pages are me at 20 whatever, 20. How old was I when I got married? I got married, I think it was like 23.
This is great.
Is that right? Oh, dude, thanks, man. Yeah, I'm still trying to fix them up because
If you have more resolution issues, they just integrated the contextual AI into Photoshop.
oh my god.
So it's pretty. I've started doing it at work. I had to extend it used to be such a headache. Hi, Michael. Can you take this vertical image and let's put it into this really horizontal format? And I'm like, yes, I can. And I'm just like, oh, here we go. You know, it's gonna. Here comes out the clone stamp tool, and I'm gonna have to get creative and get in there.
Smart fill.
Yeah. Now, generative fill. And I was like, and it gives you options, and if you don't like them, you can just start again. And I was like, oh my god, this is so much better. But it also has JPEG, artifact reduction, smart scaling, all sorts of stuff. So it's pretty cool.
This is what Malin wanted me to go back and re-release and do some crazy stuff with it. So that is where it's going. That's what I've been up to. So I've been cleaning this up in addition to waiting for, the printers to get let me know when they're going to ship just a freaking giant pallet of books to me.
I see some McFarlane influence in that man there.
You should be seeing straight McFarlane influence, dude. Like, this is the people that artists that influenced this book. Todd McFarlane, 100% a particular time period in his work. Believe it or not, Dave Stevens, like, I know it's a weird mix, but was an influence on this. And then old cartoons were a huge influence on this too. So you can see a lot of the Toddisms in some of the buildings and things like that. And you can see, just in the layouts, you can see, Todd stuff all over this work. And then that right there, and I'm still got to work on it, but that is me typing in a font of my handwriting.
That's cool. I like that.
Oh, dude,
I wish
that
I
stuff
knew where
is
it
just
was.
fun.
I still kept it. I just don't know where it is. But I did a etching when you etch onto a metal plate. It's like copper. Or something.
Yeah, that's my jam. Man.
I etched a McFarlane face, like I eyeballed it, and I loved it. I was so proud of it at the time. This would have been in like 2001 or something like that. Yep. And then I got to do all these cool prints with it and everything. But to me, the actual etching was the cool thing. I wish I knew where that was. It'd be somewhere in this cottage, probably buried in some portfolio thing.
This right here was actually in a book, How to Draw Comic Stuff Perspective, that was put out by this UK publisher. So it was weird. So not only did I self-publish this stuff, but it ended up in a lot of books. One of them was written by, one of the guys, Dave Gibbons, I think, wrote the intro, the artist on The Watchmen for it, and my stuff was in that. So this work has been kind of around. And people sort of, people just sort of, been asking me about this from time to time. People who got it at the time will read it. Look at this one right here. This is my favorite. This is a comic he's reading. Called The Cosmic Gate.
The Cosmic Gate.
Yeah, that's my little nod, man. It's my little nod to Comicsgate, man. It had to happen. But yeah, I do all kinds of math equations on this board right here, if you look at it. So you've got W819 LRP plus SSE equals MC squared. That's my wedding was August 19th. Lauren Rebecca Portera.
That's cool.
So yeah, there's all sorts of stuff. You've got this guy, this character right here, who is kind of the pseudo inventor of him, and it just cracked me up. And then of course, non-hilarity ensues. I got to do a lot more detail on this page, but right there, you can kind of see me introducing with just doing the trackpad stuff and putting in some of that Dave Stevens that I was really kind of going for with the Todd. I mean, there's no question. I love that stuff still, man. I mean, if you look behind me, there's basically Todd McFarlane's Hulk, which is probably the most expensive statue thing I've ever bought in my life. And then there's I guess it was called, this company called, I forget what they were called actually. that did a McFarlane Spider-Man to the same scale. That's what's on his back, and then the Todd artwork. So yeah, I'm Todd for life, man. That's the way that is. Like, no, I was never ashamed of loving that stuff. It's Sean's nod to dyslexia. It's hilarious, man. Yeah, man. That's the stuff, you know. Like, it's weird because I love oh man, the hand lettering though. That's the stuff I had the most fun with. So I wasn't just influenced by Todd. I was actually influenced by the creative team on the original Spawn. So I loved Orzechowski's lettering and all that stuff, man. And then Adam Hughes, because I was, you know, after I interned at Gaijin Studios, Adam Hughes would do these great sound effects in his stuff. But yeah, this is me painting and remastering this sort of stuff, and then just kind of, you know, building it out. So that double page spread will work, and, you know, there's me sketching in the stuff I want to do with it, and then more painting into this stuff, and the origin of
that. That's so cool. That's so shant.
Dude, it's listen, there's, you know, you and I we've bridged so many gaps that I think people are struggling, really prejudiced. It's sad, but we've transcended it by basically being the brown and white version of each other. Mm-hmm. And we're going to heal this digital traditional divide, because I know I don't think I've gotten a chance to say this directly to you on a stream, although I've said it when you've been in the comments section. The reality is that my wife got your Instagram suggested to her because I follow you, and I think you probably can see it on there. She started following you, and she goes, I love Michael's stuff. She's like, I really love his stuff. And I said, that's just because you're a graphic designer. You people are all the same. No, but it was because she knows, when, you know, people were asking me on the stream today, the two first creators that kind of come up in my mind when people ask me, like, what's the stuff I'm into, is your stuff and Narwhal stuff. And people find that, like, they're like, but you do traditional painted stuff, wouldn't you follow painted stuff? And I go, no, if you get Michael's stuff and you get Narwhal's stuff, and then you look at my stuff, you should completely understand it. I don't know, does that make sense to you? Like, to me, it's like people don't seem to, like, get, like, it's like, I don't know, you know, you find all these people who are fans of Kurosawa, and none of them make the same kind of work. And people think...
I've noticed that.
You know what I'm saying?
I have noticed that.
Yeah, it's like Narwhal's stuff to me.
That's
like,
really touching and cool. And actually, people have been sharing around their favorite artists and stuff. And
yeah.
I've popped up in a bunch of these lists, and I'm like, wow, I had no idea.
You better.
I had no idea. And you know, with like Kenneth Rocafort and alongside them, like, well, that's very humbling, and I obviously appreciate that.
Man, this is the thing, people do not, like, I don't think even creators necessarily understand it, but I've watched some really great documentaries on artists talking about their stuff, and one of the ones that just, like, melted my brain was the Hergé documentary, where he goes, I mean, you know, you look at amazing, masterful cartoonists and comic book artists, like the artist on Lucky Luke. I mean, I'm not like that. I don't draw very well. And you're like, Hergé, you don't know this.
I empathize. I feel the same way. I really do.
Let me shout this out to Hergé real quick. Hergé, you dead artist, you're still making bank.
Dead idiot.
You're dead. Your estate is still making bank. Dead and crushing it is what we say to Hergé, man. Spielberg directed a movie based on your character. I'm just throwing it out there. You know?
Share my screen there, Shant.
You damn right I will. I want to. Let's do it, man.
Found it.
Bang! Yeah, man. Tade. I know Billy Kincaid,
like,
man.
What are you going to do? And I'm like, I'm going to etch Todd McFarlane. I love these faces.
Spawn issue 8, right? By Alan Moore?
You would know.
I would probably know. Yeah, that's the one where the suit is wrapping around him and pulling him into it. Yep. I've studied every single one of those.
He did these cartoony faces, and I was like...
Yes.
No one else was doing that, really.
Nobody was, man. Nobody was.
Everyone was doing, like, trying to get their heads to all look the same, and I don't understand that.
But it's, dude, it's... Like see, I don't know if you ever watched that Hergé documentary, but don't lie to me because I'll quiz you. But I know you.
I've watched a couple. That you've sent me. So
yeah, this one I don't know if Mel's an Hergé fan or not. But because I know like Franco-Belgium comics, he's basically just a staple. It's like, but some people it's not their thing. Like India, it's huge. But it's those books. I didn't get them as a kid, but man. Did you just spoil something? Did you just spoil something on my stream?
No, I did it on purpose.
Yeah, I know you did. Well, listen. I don't know if you know about this guy named Cecil, but he accidentally shared his phone number, his real name, his birthday. I was actually shocked he didn't share the last 4 of his social. Like, I was like, what the hell are you doing?
That's what Juju asked him. You didn't share your social, did you?
Oh, my God. It was. I felt it. I felt my own old self feeling pangs of terror, man. Bancroft, and South really do mirror each other. It's like watching one of those.
It's weird, isn't it?
Scary, dude.
We have the same profile, everything. It's the same. I don't wear glasses, though. And I get
give it
this
time
thing that you've got. Yeah, give it time.
Are you doing
this
detail
thing
work?
When I let my beard grow out, that looks like I got a handlebar as well.
Yep,
it's really,
absolutely right.
You've got thick eyebrows. We're the same
We're
height.
both gay. No, sorry, go ahead.
It's weird,
Holy
isn't it?
crap. No, but here's the weirdest thing about it, though, right? Is that I also think... See, one of my best friends is this cat named Nick Janeshek. All of his books, it's like I say, for my family, and then right under it, for my big brother. He did some science fiction illustrations, some color work on the Shadow. I've shown you his stuff before. And he's one of those people that comes at things in the same kinds of things we both like, different similar overlapping things, but he comes at things in a way that's exciting for me to watch his stuff. And it's a similar thing with you, man. It's like I get, like, when I first saw the Lucent, and you see a lot of books being promoted. And I remember I saw that book, and when I told you this, you refused at first. I think you're getting there. If I work on you, got a couple more years maybe. Yeah. I said, I bought it purely for the artwork. And you're like, yeah, but the story. And I'm like, no, I want you to hear the words coming out of my mouth. And then you said to me, I remember this, I called you out, I said, do you think I really mean that? And you go, I'd like to think that. And I said, so then you're calling me a liar? And you were like, oh, shit. Because that's what it is, man. It's like if I say something about somebody's work, I mean it. And I was like, I remember I was promoting like Narwhal stuff when he did Nosferatu, which is What Is Up, Ice Queen, when he was doing Nosferatu. Gets confusing with all these Nosfer bros. And I was talking about his work, and I'm like, you guys got to understand, we're seeing something really special happen here. And then he got a shout out from Mark Miller. And I was like, you see? I told you. And so, I'm just saying, man, as soon as I saw your stuff, I was an early adopter. I'm the least surprised. Man, the least surprised when I hear people saying, oh, he's one of my favorite artists in CG. Not shocked at all, man. Not shocked at all.
Well, it's still very nice to hear.
Yeah, it is nice to hear, man. Hell yeah. Positivity, man. And sincerity. That's like the key. It's so funny, right? It's hard for me not to get excited about making artwork in comics. And just everyone's art, like even movies. I love it all, And so, yeah, exactly, man. Narwhal. He gave Narwhal a shout out over his animation, right? His animated trailer.
This looks amazing or something.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Yeah. And then of course he found out that he was Comicsgate. He took it back. No, like that is one of those. I've decided I'm going to start telling my own story, Michael, of what I've been through during my time in Comicsgate. But I don't really have a great story like the Leprestes. I don't have a great story like Ethan. But I think my story is in some ways kind of similar. So, it's I got like I documented it because I had to file a police report, and it was tough, right? But this is true. This is a true story. Shortly after I became Comicsgate, this is true. I went out at 2 a.m. to get a Subway sandwich, and as I was heading back to my home, I was walking because it was minus 20 degrees. Yeah, no, it's true. It was minus 20 degrees, so I was walking home. 3 people wearing pussy hats attacked me and said, "This is SJW country." And they threw bleach on me and dyed my hair blue.
Clinton country.
Yeah. And I'm not just saying this tale of me being attacked for being CG to get attention for what I'm doing at all. That is not what I'm doing. You know, I am saying this attack happened because it really happened, Michael. This is my truth that I'm sharing with you. So guys, be careful.
That's really the only truth that matters, by the way.
The only truth that matters. We know these things, man. We know these things. You know, and so I just say, be safe out there, everybody. God, that if I hear that one more time, I'm going to lose it. I love it when my friends say it, but man, when I hear people I don't know say it, it freaks me out. Like I can't.
A warning?
Well, I think what they're saying to me is
if an accident happened to you.
I honestly think when someone tells me be safe out there, they're looking at my diet and they're saying, "Listen, man, you're killing yourself. You know, stop with the high fructose corn syrup." But I'm not gonna. You know, I like to believe that, you know, if you love something, no, I don't think that works for this. Never mind. It's over. So what have you been watching, man? What have you been up to?
Work, and a little bit more
Amen.
work. I've been catching streams when I can.
Yep.
And then just the rest of the time, I am in full-on color mode.
Yeah. It's fun, ain't it?
You've seen Painted Death.
Uh-huh, I have.
There's a lot of pages that need finalized.
I live Painted Death every day. Do you understand?
Day.
That's my Chance trailer. You know? I mean, I was sitting there, Lauren was looking at this, and she goes, I really think this is going to be good. You know, 'cause she sees me, like, just staring into it.
This one's actually going to be good.
No, and actually, I'm not even joking. I looked over my shoulder at her and went, I'm sorry, I think the word you're looking for is great. It's going to be great.
Magnificent.
Look, dude, I knew what I was going to have to do, man. Yeah, that's right. They tied chiffon around his neck. Yeah, that was there. I saw it. Guys, listen. This was my story. This was my truth. You know, I have to tell you, you know, one of the things that my favorite part of Comicsgate and my favorite part of the stuff that we're doing here is, and this is going to sound nuts, maybe, probably not to you guys, is the grind. That's my favorite part, you know, is the work. I gotta adjust my colors on that. This is from this is from me working in black and white. This is the new palette.
Let's discuss this off air.
Yeah, we'll discuss this off air. Yeah, there we go. Let's see if we can get that a little closer.
I need to blow my nose. I apologize.
Well, you do that if you need to, Michael. This is a safe space. But I was when I was working on this, I came so close when you were talking about that Frankenstein piece to photoshopping this all purple. I was so close, you have no idea, man. I was like, that would be the best. I just did a purple wash over this just to see what would happen. And the groove's been coming in. The LUCENTcomic.com products new Lucent Books bundle. Back it now, back it early. Back it off.
66,000 raised, if you can believe it.
I can. If you don't mind me saying so. I've been a early adopter. I told people I think that this guy's quite the artist, and now that fame and fortune has come his way, he's slowly, begrudgingly accepting it. But that's what it is. So you came to the United States, yes?
I did.
When you were here and you went through customs, did you say, I have nothing to declare but my genius? Did you go full Oscar Wilde? Bang, guys. Look at this.
Said, I'm here for a succulent Chinese meal. That's what I said. Well, 800.
That's right. I've come for your dungeon. Never mind. We're not going to go there. But this right here, folks, this is an overnight success story, a decade in the making or so. right? This is
Yeah, no, at least, yeah.
it's easy. It's
I
easy,
remember
right?
the walk. I remember the walk. I went on with Mel,
Yeah.
and I just said to her, "I'm gonna write a story," and she just turned to me and said, "Okay, I accept that. I believe you." I've always done things, you know. I've always had something to do, and I've said this before. I feel like all these little things I did, rollerblading, the magazine, Etsy shop, T-shirts, all these things that I did, it was all leading up to this because I was collecting XP. I was collecting experience.
You are,
and
that's all it is, man. I've gotten to this place now with all of this stuff where I say to people that I don't know, man. I've kind of stepped away from it all, and I've said I don't know why I was there. Like when I was teaching, or when I like go out or I was doing anything, I might have been there to help somebody that I didn't even know I was helping at the time. You know, we're not in control of all of it. But it's like, it's the weirdest thing in the world. You know, when you draw a straight line back from where you are to where you started, it almost seems like there was a plan sometimes. And it's kind of mind-bending when you look at that stuff. But you just never know.
It's weird. Things will pop up that I know need to get done. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy that I learnt that doing something really different. And now, just out of the blue, I need to be able to do it now. And I can. Because I was doing it with this. So... yeah. Work hard, man. It's great work too, isn't it? I mean, we've got the best folks to be making artwork for. You know, it's just I love our crew. You know, our audience is awesome. Our backers are awesome. We should build a wall around Australia so they can get off the they can't get off the island anymore. Well, maybe have a wall. It's the ocean.
It's called the Great Barrier Reef. They got a few different options.
On the up the north for a good couple of months every year, it's just like deadly jellyfish and octopus surrounding the island. It is a death sentence to go out there.
There's only one thing I want to do though when I go to Australia. It's a lifelong dream. Is they have the cutest animals in Australia, and there's this cute little animal in Australia called the blue-ringed octopus.
Oh, the blue ring.
Dying to pet it.
I thought you were going in another direction there. Yeah. There is a video of a woman with the blue ring octopus in her hand, completely oblivious, watching its... I gotta find this. I gotta show it to you. You're gonna freak out.
Listen, we all know that the reality is I'm going to Australia to hunt the Linda swimsuit. Mel knows it. She's disavowed me. She said I want nothing to do with this man. I just want to pull it back and just let it snap once before I'm taken away and lose all my rights. Deported like Amber Heard's dog. That's that. It's just inevitable. Yeah, hard work is its own reward. And what is up, guys? I appreciate all of you guys in the chat, man. I built out this new stream because I want people to be able to come in and hang when they want to, talk about their books, like the amazing The Lucent 2 Painted Death. And what I love about Michael and the stuff that he's doing is you always have the opportunity to catch up on the previous book, which is a big thing for us, making everything available for you guys. And bow to Mrs. Ingetti and prayers on the upcoming divorce. Yeah, listen, she's going to do well, okay? We live on the East Coast. She's going to be fine. She might even take all my teeth. We don't know what she could win in such a settlement. But I show up in court and they're going to go like, well, I think we know who's at fault here. Not this angel.
I'm trying to get this thing to turn its sound off, but I can't. Let me just... Okay, let me share this one for you.
Yeah, listen.
This will be you, Shant.
Oh, no, it is. How do I get this? I want to see if I can make this so I can see it. Where is it? It's not... is it sharing right now, or...?
I'll be sharing it. 1 second.
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you something, guys. If, God forbid, something happens to me... Michael, I want you to be the first to say it's how he wanted to go. Here you go, guys.
He died.
It's what he wanted.
He died how he lived.
Yeah, stupid.
Caressing deadly animals.
Well, that's right. Oh my God, folks!
She thought it was just a cute little baby octopus she was handling, and she put a video of it on TikTok. And only then did she find out that that cute critter is one of the most deadly animals in the ocean. One bite, and you could be dead in minutes.
Wow.
How adorable. What a cute little guy.
I saw it in the water and I thought, my initial reaction was to just pick it up.
And then you find out that little tiny...
You're in Australia. If you don't know what it is, your reaction should never be, I'm going to pick that up. Especially if it has bright fluorescent blue rings on it.
What do you think bright colors are a symbol of out in the wild when you're...
We have so few. We have so few animals that are brightly colored like that too. So this is like, it's an extra warning.
Tiny creature could have killed you and over 20 people.
Talk about a shocker.
Kaylin Phillips had no idea the creature from the sea she and her friends were passing around on the beach.
You came here, Michael? You came to this nation having known this video existed.
Well, I felt like I have a good chance of surviving, She can...
Yeah, you did. There's no survival skills here, apparently.
This is nuts.
So are we going to see her trip to a lion preserve soon?
Why are they watching this part? Let's have a look.
I know.
Some studies say that it's 1,000 times more potent than cyanide, their venom.
This dude's awesome.
Kaylin, who lives in...
Oh, he's like a... Let's listen to what he says.
3 of you, but apparently if there were 26 of us, we all would have been gone.
She got away with murder, so to speak, right? She's very lucky that nothing happened to her. These tiny little golf ball sized octopus pack a heck of a punch. In fact, some studies say that it's 1,000 times more potent than cyanide, their venom.
Well, these octopuses are actually a cephalopod form of airborne AIDS, and she just put it in her mouth for a TikTok clip.
Yeah. She went viral, at least. She got that out of it.
She almost went viral. She went eulogy.
Different kind of viral.
God, help these people. My God. When Michael landed in America, someone picked him up and filmed it on TikTok. Yeah. They're like, what is this? They don't get out much.
What do they call this?
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's called an Australian. Oh, it's weird.
Yeah. Oh, no, I mean, these people are just like, you just don't know what to do at this point, Look, it's a king cobra, and they just run at it, and it's running at them, It's a snake that kills elephants, people. You just don't want to mess with that. God bless, man. But those are the kinds of things when I'm sitting around and I'm painting and I'm doing stuff like, the stuff I do, that are real inspirations for what I do color-wise, because you can't, some of those colors, you just can't mix those things, man. They're incredible. Like, I love to get out silver and gold paint and things like that to try it, but holy cow.
Yeah, that's what I did on that t-shirt that you were just showing.
Dude, it's beautiful.
You can't print that with CMYK. Like, you have to use ink. So, that was really cool to do, because you just don't get an opportunity to make that sort of stuff all that often.
Oh, dude, well, you have got one of my favorite t-shirt designs of all time, even outside of the Lucent, dude. The Sherlock Holmes, baby! Yes. I love that design. Yeah, everything you were doing was preparing you for this, dude.
It was.
The Lucent
really was.
Is like your I don't know, your Fifth Symphony, man. I don't know. It's here's where you are at, man. It's awesome.
I am's where I am's. Where do I find... I'm trying to find that Sherlock for people who haven't seen it. I wore that the other day, and Victoria was like, did you make that? And I showed her all the little names and everything.
Did you point back at her and say, I made that too? Let me tell you, I tell my kids that every day. It's like, they go, what are you working on? I said, no matter how good it is, it's only going to be the 3rd best thing I've ever made. You two are the number 1, number 2 spot, kids. Know it. Yeah. It's the way it is.
Here it is.
Yeah, the king cobra is patient and it will wait for... Yeah, they like the king cobra and the tigers in India, they just hunt people. They're so over it. They're like, people are delicious, It's just, my God. Ugh, terrifying. Yeah. If you've ever watched someone go in, and I don't understand this, but I saw a zookeeper go into a cage with a king cobra because he had to actually do something in there, and they had a little metal piece that they try to hold it at bay with. The thing, he couldn't find it. It was laying against the tree where he couldn't see it, the branch, and it just shot up the branch at his face. And I was like, no! Get out of there, man. Don't do it. I beg. I beg that people
talking about Illustrator.
Yep. It's everything.
Share this.
Illustrator is life. Here it
This
is,
is what
guys.
I was doing in 2014, right before I started working on what would eventually become the Lucent.
Let me preface this real quick, okay? I am a massive Sherlock Holmes fan. How big of a Sherlock Holmes and Arthur Conan Doyle fan am I? I love The Lost World. It's one of the greatest books ever. My handwriting, when you guys see me write in script, I learned how to write in script, I guess about 6 or 7 years ago, by copying Arthur Conan Doyle's handwritten letters to people, including Bram Stoker. So that's where my script comes from. Massive Sherlock Holmes fan. The first time I ever saw a character in fiction that I understood, I was like, oh my god, that's how my brain works. You know, it's just like his description of being on the couch and being miserable and like needing excessive amounts of tobacco to calm his brain. And so this is, to me, the finest design I've ever seen of a Sherlock Holmes shirt. I've looked for Sherlock Holmes shirts online and never see one I would wear, ever. This is one I would wear. This is genius.
This is one for fans.
Bang.
So
come on now.
At first you see, oh, that's cool. That's Sherlock Holmes, and it's like a map. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. Zoom in, and these are all places.
Yep.
They've got like names from characters and stuff like that. And then all the little street names are little stories, books that he's done. The Empty House, The Valley of Fear.
Yep.
The Second Stain. Case of Identity.
Yep. And done in Illustrator because you're not a pansy.
In Illustrator, yeah, I can... where's the thing? Look at that.
Yeah, man. It's all about vectors, man. Vectors are all of it.
Yeah, I'm proud of this. I think that came out
Should
really
be,
well.
dude. I love it.
Very
Let me see if I can find... I only have a JPEG of it, so I don't think I have the Illustrator file. Or maybe I do. People need to know. People gotta know that we have to know a lot of things. And we've come to know a lot of things. Because that's the only way to do it, guys. Let me see if this loads. Illustrator's like saying, how many things do you want to open on this computer right now, son?
Yeah.
I'm saying, a few.
Yeah, I don't use Illustrator as much anymore. It used to be my go-to program.
So I when I was teaching the last college I taught at, the place where I was full time, I didn't think they had any interesting merch, and so I do it it'd probably be better if I did it now. But what I did was I went and I hand lettered some like a kind of a sort of like the stuff I did with the Iron Age stuff, but I did a hand lettering of it first, and then I went into it with Illustrator. And let me see if I can find this, because again, guys, digital, man, don't surrender anything, don't surrender anything. But this is, let me see here. So this was a design I did in Vector, and I was able to just do some crazy fun stuff. And I was just taking this stuff and kind of, playing around with it. I'd do so much better with the fonts.
Truth in art.
Yep, that's right. In arte veritas, that's the way it's got to be, man. Which is, the play on the famous in science, truth, in art, honor. I always thought, I like in art, truth.
I like in vino veritas.
Yeah, I do too. In vino veritas.
From Tombstone.
That's right,
In
exactly right. Evidently, Mr. Ringo's an educated man. Now I really hate him. Yeah, man, you gotta love that stuff. And since you're rocking yours, man, I feel like I've got to put on my Battle Brick Road hat, because we can't not have our Battle Brick Road hats on. It's a great Eric Weathers. Yeah, man, that dude, him lettering Nosfero was probably one of my favorite parts of doing that project, because it was so nice to have that weight off, you know, that pressure of one thing, you know what I mean? Yeah, Hound of the Baskervilles is my favorite in the world. Mortal V, what is up? How are you doing? It's Shane's birthday. Is it today? I thought it was... Oh, yeah, it is. That's right. Friday, he said, right? So, yeah, I think it is his birthday. Holy cow. Yeah, happy birthday, Shane. I should put my train hat back on in honor of Shane, man.
This was this was the impetus behind the design you just saw. So that's
nice.
That's the Sherlock I based it on.
Dude.
And this is every published story, and it's a great read. And it comes with all of the little, you know.
Oh yeah, the original illustrations. I forget the gentleman's name. Was it start with a P or whatever? Was French illustrator.
Sidney Paget.
Yep. Paget. That's right. That's what it was. Yep.
Yeah.
Love his stuff.
So I got that, and I was showing this one off the other day. I don't know if you saw that. That's my first edition Casino Royale. Well, actually,
that's awesome.
It's first paperback edition. They did do a hardcover before this, but
who was the cover illustrator? That's beautiful, man.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, I love that painting.
Let me have a look. So this was printed in 55. Printed in there, reading there. No, it's not saying. It's not telling me who did it. No. That's a good book, by the way. I really enjoyed that.
I want to see. I really do think like we on. Hey, what's up, Phil? How you doing, brother? On what do you call it? Yes, and check out battlebrickroad.com, guys, right there. Thank you, groomsmen. I appreciate it. I will say that of all of the things all the things we've done over on Double Impact on Gabe's channel, we did. We started looking at Bond movies. We did Goldfinger, but we haven't done either one of the Casino Royales. And it is apparently the strongest book, they say, of the series. Like, it's the book. You know, like there's
I loved
other
it.
ones that
I
are
thought
great.
it was really. It's not like the movies. It was a lot more hardcore, but also it was a lot more
pulp.
Yeah, I don't know. I learned how to play Baccarat reading Casino Royale, and I didn't expect to do that.
Blame it on Ian Fleming.
The scene was rough, but you know.
Yeah. Oh, hey, listen. When you go back and you read the original source material, when I read Dracula or I read Frankenstein or anything like that, I'm like, damn, we haven't come close to this in the movies. Not even close.
I read Frankenstein. I read Jekyll and Hyde. Pretty sure I read Dracula.
Yeah.
But I haven't read, like, much pulp stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I collect it for its beautiful covers. Like, White-Faced Dick.
Dude, let me tell you something. That is the whitest-faced dick. Well, you know what? I won't even go there, but I think it's great. It's a classic. Well, hey, listen. When you talk about that, though, again, you're like, oh, looking at all that old pulp art. On my deck right now, man, is a piece of pulp art. I've been working on this at the exact same time. See, this is where I talk about, you know, the universe and things coming together, man. I'm working on this, and I think I even said this to you at the same time I was working on this. And because I was working on this, and because I'd done a bunch of... actually, it was more because I did a couple of pieces of Razor Fist that him and I started chatting. Razor Fist commissions me to do this piece. And then he starts following me on Twitter. Then he talks to me about doing this piece and all that sort of stuff. And then when I posted this piece in progress, he's like, I gotta follow this guy's book. I'm telling you, man. This is how this stuff works. You know? It's
freaky.
I love it.
I said to Mel, the only thing now that is left for me is to get followed by Sargon of Akkad, and that'll be everything. Because
then that's everything.
These are guys that I spent my days listening to. The Rageaholic, you know.
Yeah,
way back in the day. Styx Hexenhammer, Sargon, even V, who now I think we're following each other on Twitter as well. I don't listen to him anymore, but I used to listen to him a lot. So it's so weird to have converged in a different place, comic books, than where I started. And that was a good. That's funny. Like, you were doing all this cool stuff, and then I wake up one morning and Shant is painting a Lucent piece. I'm like, what the hell? And I was just bouncing against the walls, and I'm like, I need to talk to you.
Yeah, I know. And I actually thought something had happened.
Yeah.
I still remember that. You're like, dude, we need to talk. I was like, oh my god, is the kid's okay? Like, you gotta understand where I come from, man.
Different.
I was at a different angle, man. But yeah. I was watching dude. It gets crazy. Life gets real crazy. So there were a couple of people that I was watching just during all of the various kinds of insanity we've had in the States, and one of them was I was listening to Razor Fist, but I was also listening to this dude named Jericho Green, and he's got this massive following and all this stuff. And one day, Gabe says to me, he goes, "Hey man, I want to get, there's someone who is a big fan of what we're doing, loves action movies, and he wants to come on and do the show." And I think I told him this. I said to my wife when I was at my college teaching job, I go, I need to be around more brown people who don't use the term people of color, or I'm going to jump out of a building. Like, I was losing my mind.
Who don't preface every argument they make with, as a person of color,
And we're watching Jericho at the time, and I said, I want to have friends like that. Like, so it's not fucking crazy. And within a couple of a year of us doing that show, now it's like I'm texting with Jericho, I'm doing stuff for him, and I'm telling you, man, it's a weird world, dude. It's beautiful. You get out there and you meet people. Amen. God bless you guys. God bless you guys. Great to see you here.
Yeah,
in the house.
if you put the work in and you come at it with passion, and you just grind at it, it's incredible what you can build over time.
Yeah.
And you can start from, and that's the thing, like, I started from, Ethan was talking about, his approach to how he runs his channel and everything today. And he was like, you got to understand his point of view. He came from the mainstream, and he came from the industry, and he'd already worked in it for 20 years and stuff. So he was like, I want to help people out who are making a living in comics.
Yes.
And it's a whole different perspective than where I came from, where I'm like, I want to break into the indie scene coming out of nowhere. So it's like, it's a completely different place to come from. And that makes so much... It made so much sense what he was saying, and I was hearing it.
I don't know, man. I kind of disagree with a lot of what he says, because my attitude with Ethan is real simple. What has he done for me lately? Do you know what I'm saying? Ethan, if you're out there. Dude, he's like, I totally get what he's saying. Like, he's only said that 10,000 times, and every single time it's made sense. Do you know what I mean? It's like, there are these guys, we were in the industry, and our industry turned on us. This is a very... Wait, hold on a second. D-Wag in the house. I gotta say what's up to my brother D-Wag. It is great to see you, man. And they shattered his life, man. They shattered his life, Ethan. And he's seeing these people who are terrified. It was a principled stand for people who were already in that industry. And taking a risk of, you will never work again. That's a huge stress to put on people, to ask them to come be a part of that. Do you know what I mean? Do you want to throw away 40 years of your life? Come on over. Yeah.
Come on over.
I completely
the
water's...
I mean, it's not really warm and calm.
Yeah.
It's actually quite hostile, but come on over. Yeah.
Yeah,
come
on
it's
over.
Like, thinking about that, it's like, we've completely come at this from two opposite sides.
We have.
And, so... Yeah, like, that's why it's like, that makes sense, because I'm always more of the mindset of, let's see if we can help this guy who's making his very first comic for the first time make a go of this. And he's coming out from the other side. But I was, and I think that's because I remember very vividly what it was like to have less than 100 followers on Twitter and no YouTube channel and no experience and nothing to show for anything. But you kind of believe in yourself that you can do something, and you're trying to convince people to sort of follow what you're doing. It is hard. It is real hard.
Yep.
So, that's sort of where I'm coming from. But everyone starts there if you're coming into it, fresh. But if you just keep at it every day, just keep doing something, keep building, keep working.
And like I said, I mean, I meant what I said there too. It's like this whole idea of an overnight success and all that other stuff that people have. Get it out of your head. Like I self-published. Oh, and I actually I have it within striking distance here. This is the first comic I did when I was 14 years old. I self-published a comic book when I was 14. I didn't know how anything in comics worked. I printed out the lettering on my word processor and then glued it to the artwork to be able to do this. I did another comic when I was 16.
I still do it like that.
Yeah, I did glue stick out. I did my first professional job when I was 17. Andy Smith did the cover for. I did, I've worked in concept art. I did a short story of Flash Gordon written by Len Wein. I didn't just show up here. You know what I mean? Like, I had a lot of work and a lot I sacrificed. And how do I put this? Why I like watching documentaries, we both love this, and hail to you, Ray Haylock. How are you doing, my friend? Much love to you and to Tug. The thing about it is that, how do I word this? I like watching the J.K. Rowling, we both do, I know, fans of A Year in the Life doc, where she talks about her freaking life before she got there. We all have lived a few lifetimes before we got here, and that's big. And I would tell anybody in this space, if you have the skill and the talent and you put in the work on top of that, and in this case, I measure it by decades, of course you will have the same results. But short of that, it's going to be hard like anything. And I'm always amazed. I love movies. I watch movies all the time, man. And people sometimes say to me, have you ever wanted to make a movie? And I'm like, hell no. Can I have something that's not work that I enjoy? Can I have something that's not
Was it you
tied
who
to
said
work?
to me...
Yeah.
Someone said to me, George Lucas never got to watch Star Wars.
I said that. Yes, I talked about
and I was
that.
like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about? It's like, he never got to watch it. And I couldn't, and then I was like, because he made it.
That's the price he paid. He saw he saw it come together, and he didn't have any ability to just walk into a theater and be blown away. He did have the ability after that special effects meeting with ILM to be rushed to the emergency room because he thought he was having a heart attack because they hadn't gotten any effects done and spent, almost $1 million. So yeah, that's the stuff nobody wants to imagine. What's up, Geekazu? How are you doing? Nobody wants to imagine that stuff because it's not sexy. They don't want to go live in the same trailer that Todd McFarlane was living in Washington State in the U.S. while he was there as a baseball/janitorial scholarship to go to college. That's what it's about, guys. It's about working hard, and talent is. We're here to kind of. We're here to do things that are hopefully entertaining and amazing and fun and share this stuff, man. But I will say this: when people talk about how successful Bob Ross is, I always say, if you're a painter, no matter how good you think you are, try to paint a landscape in 30 minutes. And come back to me. You will get how freaking insane that man was while talking to the camera. Talk to the camera.
Yeah, the talking thing is weird. You do that. Dan Frager did that the other day. And, I don't know how you guys do it.
I don't know, man.
But I'm glad you can.
I always assume
how
Dan's
to,
hot.
Mo Biggs, by the way.
That's one skill he has that I don't have. He's smoking that weed, I think. I said, Dan's smoking that weed. That's a secret. I don't have that, man. That's the problem. Oh, Lord. Yeah, Dan, I told Dan this. I remember going into my comic shop in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I don't still have any of my comics from my childhood, but seeing that Todd McFarlane cover on Black Flag and picking it up. So yeah, I bought it the first time around, man. It's crazy to think. Yeah, I remember one time, someone was talking about people texting and driving, which blew my mind. I was like, guys, I can't text and sit. Like, you're never gonna catch me texting and driving. That's like way too much reading comp for me to multitask.
I've told the story before a couple of times about a Richard Feynman story, where, when you're a super genius and you've got some time to kill, you start doing weird things. And he had a clock that had a second counter in his office.
Oh my lord.
And he would wait till it gets to the 0, to the 12, and then he would close his eyes and try and open them again at the 12 again, so he gets a full minute, so he would count in his head. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, but he would notice his natural tendency is to count 6 seconds slower, so he would try to go to a minute 6 seconds or something, and then he would get it so it was really, he could get it every time. So then he was like, all right, well, how do I make this harder on myself? And then he would start experimenting, and he'd like, can I write while I do it? Can I talk while I do it? Can I watch something else while I do it? That sort of stuff. And he got the whole faculty in on this little game. And they just discovered inadvertently that, say, maybe Feynman could talk while he did it, hold a conversation. But whoever else, big superstar physicists down the hall, couldn't talk, but he could write or something. And Feynman couldn't write. And yeah, it was amazing. They could, the whole point of it was everyone's brain is wired slightly differently. And they can do one thing and not the other, and all that sort of stuff. And it was really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I will tell you, my wife and I joke about that a lot, but she says to me, she goes, like I was telling her, I go, imagine you've got, like, she was talking to me about something my daughter and I can do. Like, we have this weird, freaky ability to read certain things and understand certain things. Like, my daughter does stuff that where you could be thinking, hey, I would really like for this thing to happen. So I'll give you an example. My wife was walking home from work because she, it's a proximity thing. And my daughter was like, I bet she would like it if I drove and picked her up and brought her a donut. And my wife had been thinking that, and she went and did it. It's creepy shit. I mean, this kid has been doing this shit since she was little, and she's the one who got...
Spooky, what is it? Something, spooky action over a distance.
Yeah, it's creepy shit, man. And I've done, I don't know how to even describe it, but it's like, I've got like text chains to show this. I've predicted upset victories in boxing matches, like exactly how like they happened. And it's just, you just get to a certain point, like it's just, it's weird. Yeah. Justice for Mo, disavow Danny, agreed. Crack pack for life. You all know that. Yeah. I have the ability to stop smoking crack whenever I want to. Yeah. I don't have that ability. I don't think. You never know. But yeah, I mean, we've got some, I mean, shoot, we've got some interesting folks. We got some smart folks in this space, man. The chat is always filled with a lot of really smart, commentary on stuff. Everybody's read a book, and that I'm like going, oh, holy cow, everybody's an expert in here. So
yeah. Oh yeah, I don't know if you ever caught it. I do my art share show.
Yeah.
I just collect a whole bunch of art I found on Instagram and Twitter. And I don't know anything about these people. I don't know what they've worked on or anything most of the time. And the chat is just, oh, that's such and such. They're great. They did this, and then it all gets linked together. And if it was just me, I am just like a bumbling ignoramus when it comes to this stuff. And but it works because the chat's there to tell me who's who. And I've discovered so many amazing artists doing that. And, some other stuff.
Yeah, takes all kinds, Yeah, man. It's wild stuff, too, to think that we're in this time where There's so much cool work coming out. Like there's this one book there's 2 books actually. They've been out of print for a really long time, and one is a book that was a big influence on my art style when I was young, and actually it was in my first comic I did when I was 14, but not in some of the other ones, and it was the artwork of Tim Vigil. So they're releasing a collected edition of Faust, which is a super not for anyone under the age of maybe 100. It's violent, it's very graphic, it's super intense. But it's been out of print forever, and they're doing a hardcover of that. And then another book that's definitely not for kids, but it's a masterpiece to me, is Richard Corbin's Den series is being put out by Dark Horse now in nice hardcover editions. And so for me, there's so much great stuff coming out, so many great old movies being remastered, so many horror movies to watch this month. I'm loving it, man. I'm loving this stuff.
I look forward to a time one day when I can stop and enjoy some more of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I got pages to finish.
Yep. I know exactly how you feel, man. I say this all the time. I wish I could go back in just for a minute. Like, I don't mean like to stay, but I mean I wish I could go back to the time before, because it was very young, I wanted to be a comic book artist. I mean, Lauren wrote in my in the intro to Nosfero, she wrote, the first thing I knew about my husband when I met him was he was going to be a comic book artist. You know? Yeah, Paulus Arts, 100%. And so I wanted to, 14 was when I was drawing that. I sent out my first submissions packages to DC and Marvel when I was 11 and 12 and got my first rejection letters. I got one handwritten letter from an editor. It's like, keep working.
Anyone
This is
famous?
really... I don't have the letters still, so I don't know. It's terrible. All that stuff I lost, you know, from my youth. It would have been so cool, too. I know. I have rejection letters from college, but I don't have rejection letters from, like, when I was really young. And there were one of them was, like, child labor laws. Like, it was really funny.
Well, then you get to... Because when you've got the rejection letter, then you get to have the, rejection letter, redemption story.
Let me say this. The people who wrote me handwritten rejection letters when I was 11 are saints. They clearly were like, look at this kid trying. Like, they were like, because, I mean, I was a kid, but it was really cool. Of course, at the time, I was like, how can you reject me? But I got over the ego stuff. Yeah, dude, do you know who I am? Good day, sir. Oh, man. It's a trip. But yeah, I mean, this is what I loved to do, and I love painting, and I want to do another art book. There's so much stuff I want to do. I want to do, I'm trying to get Dan Lawless to do this, to talk to people about, seeing if it's cool with them, but my next art book is going to have a lot of my CG stuff and process stuff in it. And that's going to be fun, because I really... Man, where I was when I started Nosfero, barely knowing anybody, and where I am today, man, it's nuts. Like, you were talking about Razor Fist and stuff like that. Razor Fist really introduced me and gave me, in some ways, the language when he started talking about pulp. And so did, funny enough, Phil Diaz when he was talking to Steranko and sharing all that stuff with me. And so... I was watching Razor Fist. I was enjoying his stuff. I thought it was great because he was a fellow Ninja Turtles fan, all that stuff. But from me kind of barely putting out there onto the internet, hey, I like this Razor Fist guy. Check out his books. To me working for him, I would actually love to look that up. Actually, I want to track that down. I gotta go to X. But I gotta see when that was, because that is a trip, man. And then all this crazy Iron Age stuff I'm doing. But where is... I guess I post more on Twitter than I thought I did. Oh boy, I'm always amazed going back through the Twitter sphere. There's a lot of Lucent stuff, man. I'm posting about as I scroll.
I know.
What a trip, dude. Yeah, I am the... I'm a Lucent believer, man. Okay, so that was the second one I did. That was for his second book, which I love his second book. I love his first book too, but it was really cool to see where the characters went in the second book of his, which is called Death Mask, and then the first one was called, oh man, I fucking hate that post. Sorry. The post when Jason Pearson died, man. I met him at Gaijin Studios, and he was an amazing talent, man. Just an incredible artist. So, let me see. I want to make sure there wasn't one before this. Because I think I showed, there's Death Mask, there's the hardcover book, the day I got that. Oh, wait a second. Another look at the studies. Roughed in a composition. I think that might be, no, that's not the first one. Remember, wow, has it really only, that's actually longer ago than I thought it was. So I guess the first time I did a post where I painted one of his characters was November 25th, 2022. So from there to whenever he commissioned me to do that piece was the length of time I was on the scene. Yeah, it's a trip, man. It's 100% a trip. And I just, it was like, and I've been watching him for a while. Yeah, Mo Biggs, I'm the M. Night of the chat. You're not indie enough to be M. Night, man. Come on now, brother. The groomsman's cracking me up. I like Razor Fist. I wish he would stop trying to make Go Broke, Get Woke. Ultimately, fucking Crow Cap and Bud Light wasn't going broke when they went woke. Yeah, let me tell you this right now, though. They did have the frogs croaking. So maybe there's something there. You know, Mo? I don't know for sure. Maybe he was referencing the Budweiser ad. You don't know. It could be anything. But I do hear your point. Well, Lord knows. I think Disney, like when I watched their stock yesterday go to $78, or today I think it went to 78 before it bounced back up. This is end of days shit for them, man.
Is it?
They're in some trouble. You know?
Well,
it's crazy.
I guess you can't just. I guess when it's the good times, you can, throw money, bad money after good continuously, but eventually, the bad times roll in.
Yeah,
and
they do.
You've got to pay the piper.
Well, we talk about this stuff a lot, right? I mean, it's like I'm not living in this kind of world where I have this crazy embarrassment of riches mentality where I think I can just, just tell random large groups of people to fuck off. It's just not been my life experience, My life was a little bit more, where are you from? It was a little different. So I had to kind of sort things out a little bit more and not, piss into the wind, as we say in the South. And I'm always amazed when I see people take that kind of mentality because they were on third base and they couldn't steal home. That's really what their story of Disney is. It's ridiculous.
It's such a shame too, as I remember when they announced that Star Wars would take over Disney, I was thinking, this could actually be good. Like they could make this work because I was thinking, well, I just watched Moana, and that was amazing. It was brilliant. Yeah. But then you begin to realize, well, they're not going to hand Star Wars to a visionary. Like, they're going to find a George Lucas type character who loves and respects Star Wars as much as Lucas did and wants to carry the story forward. No, they're going to suck it like a mosquito until it's bone dry and, squeeze every dollar out of it. Whereas when I watched a documentary on Moana, it's just these, two guys who, had their hand in every single thing. They wrote it, they directed it, they made it. They were there for when the cast were doing their voice acting, they were there for when they were making the animation. So it wasn't Disney that made it. It was these two guys.
Yep.
Disney just paid for it, and you know.
Yeah, and I hate to break it to people because I know all the great conspiracy theories about it, and they're all bullshit because we've seen them play out. Almost everybody who was ever involved with Star Wars that wasn't George Lucas has been involved in the sequel trilogy. Whether it's Lawrence Kasdan, any of these people, they've all been involved. The myth of Marsha Lucas, the genius. Sorry, folks, she wasn't. There were 2 other editors on that flick, and she was included because she was the boss's wife, and she did have some editing thoughts, but she was mainly the woman who banged the guy who did the glass ceiling in the Lucasfilm library and left him, and then made a lot of money off of that divorce. Yeah, these are from her own lips, by the way. There's a whole interview with her. She talks about all this shit. This isn't just speculation, right? The name of the artist and everything like that. I mean, so, like, it was George Lucas. And when I heard that they threw out the George Lucas treatments for Where It Went, I go, this is doomed. Period. You know? Are you talking about Moana or Lilo and Stitch is what the groomsman is saying?
Moana.
Lilo and Stitch was similar.
I never saw Lilo and Stitch.
It's great, man.
Maybe it was made by the same guys. I don't know.
No,
People
it's
Lilo and Stitch, but I never saw it.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. Yeah, I mean, once they threw that out, and I will say, the funniest thing in the world is I almost was able to get into The Force Awakens. I didn't watch it in the theater. I was not having any part of it. What killed that movie for me, funny enough, was when Han Solo showed up. It was when they brought in this, like, hey, we've got this, like, there was a bunch of things I didn't like, you know, from the start. But I was like a lot of people where when I saw Force Awakens, and if it wasn't for Kathleen Kennedy, I wouldn't be here. That's the most terrifying thing in the world. If it wasn't for the Phantom Menace, I wouldn't be here. But I hated The Force Awakens. Like, I was like, this is trash. And I found a few people who agreed. They just destroyed the characters. Luke ran away. The Empire was never defeated, essentially. Like, it was basically just kept on going. And I know Michael French of Retro Blasting hated it too, in the same way. And my friend Michael King from The Choice Voice has a great review. Luke ran away. They destroyed his character. He failed. The Empire came back. Like, he was going over all this shit. And then, so when everybody finally caught on with The Last Jedi, I was sort of like, yeah, there was no saving it. After The Force Awakens, it was doomed. Like that, once they went down that road. And, you know, Han and Leia are divorced. Like, their romance ends with them finally getting together. I love you, I know. And they finally come together. Next time you see them, they're like, it's tragic what they did to those characters, man. And I was pissed. I was more disgusted because, man, you can say what people, and I will actually defend the prequels. I'll be one of those people, man. I'm not talking about them being the greatest film ever, but they did not. A whole generation of fans got into Star Wars because of those movies. You can't say the same thing for the sequel trilogy. You can't. It's ridiculous to me. Like, you know, the Star Wars merchandise was selling like crazy when Disney bought it with no movies, and they killed it. Like, in a couple of years, they destroyed this juggernaut. And I remember I had a little bit of hope when they did the second season of Mandalorian, and when Gina Carano got fired, I canceled Disney Plus, and I said, she's taking control. Kathleen took this away from Jon Favreau. It's going off a cliff. And here's where we are. It is dead. Star Wars is 100% dead.
It's so dead.
It's never coming back.
Really,
over.
It is really bizarre watching them talk about
Did
it.
I
Like,
keep
oh,
your
Ahsoka's the future of Star Wars. Like, are you out of your mind?
Fuck that. Fuck those people. Dear God. If you give every member... Like, I'm going to steal a joke from someone from a great Scotland man who had something similar to say about someone, a politician. This is what it is. If you gave every member of the Phantom Menace a shovel, when Kathleen Kennedy passes away, we can dig a hole so deep we can deliver her to Satan personally. Fucking... I mean, what she has done to the entirety of Lucasfilm is evil. Whether it's Indiana Jones or Star Wars. But here's the thing. The second that sale went through, those I don't consider any of that stuff to be connected to the artwork that was Star Wars, to the creativity that was at. It's dead as shit. Like, there was no artist there. It's like if someone took over writing Harry Potter for J.K. Rowling. I don't care what people think of her newest writing or Tolkien's work on, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the Silmarillion or whatever I know. I'm sorry, Michael. I know you Lord of the Rings people.
It's all right. Camel does the same thing to me.
Yeah, the Vermicelli. And the thing about it is, that book was incredible. That some call it the blue-ringed octopus of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. And but this is the thing about it. I say to people, I go, did Tolkien write it? Did a fucking genius write something? It doesn't mean that everyone's going to love it, or you could say, oh, this is the universally good. But take a look at it. There's something in there that's good. Like, there's something, and the prequels have tons of shit like that people were just waiting to see Han, Luke, and Leia again. Well, we got that. How's it feel? You finally got your Han, Luke, and Leia return, and it doesn't
feel very good, Sean.
Yeah, it doesn't. You wish they had stayed away. Yeah. I mean, oof. I will take a Jar Jar Binks sequel trilogy to erase that any day of the week. It's like, good God, man. Yeah, Star Wars OG, Harry Potter. Let's see here. Star Wars OG, Harry Potter, and Lord of the Rings don't need homework to read or watch. Yeah, you're 100% right, man. But I think it was, to me, this is the thing that's so funny about it. Like, I remember thinking, like, there was a moment in the Phantom Menace. In the Phantom Menace, it's one of my favorite Star Wars moments of all time because it's fucking twisted. Is the end scene of that is the freaking darkest shit I've ever seen in my life, man. Do you remember that scene?
End of Phantom Menace.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't it end with Palpatine and...
With the children singing.
The children singing?
Yeah, do you remember they go...
La
la la la, la la la, la 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 la.
Do you remember that?
Sounds familiar.
Let me make it lower and slower for you. La 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 la. It's the Emperor's theme, sang by children, faster and higher, to celebrate his victory. It's fucking dark. It's so dark. Yeah, look at you. You're having a moment.
I didn't know.
Yeah. That's the Phantom Menace. Is that motherfucker, man? Who comes into politics? Go figure. It's some dark shit. So you see him smiling there, and you're like, "What the fuck?" Yeah, man. That's some hilarious
was my
shit.
favorite thing of the whole.
Yeah.
Prequel trilogy.
Oh my God, he was Ian McKellen, man. Worth it. Absolutely worth it, man. It's like, to me, I was worried. People worried about different things with those movies. I was worried, because I'm a Shakespeare fanatic, how Ian was going to do in Revenge of the Sith, like the last movie. He freaking crushed it. He chewed that scenery up. He earned his paycheck. Mm-hmm. And I wish he'd never had to come back to be in the sequel.
Somehow he returned.
Yeah, somehow
Palpatine returned.
Yeah, it's just embarrassing. I mean, he was... I do not begrudge any of these actors taking that check if they need it, but
it's not their
I'll be
fault.
damned.
It's not their fault.
Yeah, I'll be
it's
damned.
It's akin to an artist, these talented artists out there working on these woeful books.
Yeah.
They have bills to pay.
Yep.
So, they draw this stuff.
Yeah.
Unlimited power.
Oh God, what was the one that I got, that I loved, where he does this little neck thing when they're at the symphony, and he's like, did I ever tell you? Like, he's just guessing how far can I push this fucker. It is some dark shit. What's up, Phantasmagorical? It is great to see you in the house. How are you doing? Yeah, I made the mistake of, back when I had TV, before I was just, doing Netflix and shit, I was flipping through the channels, and some fucking cable channel was playing Revenge of the Sith, and I happened to click the 1 millisecond before Palpatine screams, "Power!" and shoots the lightning. And I almost shat myself, man. But if you want to talk about how freaky shit lines up is, I'm an introverted nerd. I do not go out. I do not do the outside things, as you well know. Someone said to me, they go, "You're not an introvert." And I go, "Tell me a time you've heard of me going out to a party ever, or meeting up with people ever. I'll give you $100. It doesn't happen." But I decided that in 2005, when Revenge of the Sith was in theaters and it was going to be the last, and it turned out to be the last Star Wars movie, I was going to go see it at the midnight showing, because I'd never done anything like that, and I figured there wouldn't be as many people there, although there were a lot of people there. And I called my wife before it started, because she was at home. She couldn't come with me. And they go, and I was born in 1976, so Star Wars had been my whole life up until that point. And this couple sitting next to me goes, "Who are you talking to?" My wife, she can't be here. And they're like, "Hi, wife." You know, these people sitting next to me, these strangers, was like sweet. You know, they were being funny. And they go, "Why isn't she here?" And then I had to convey to them, you talk about your life coming full circle. She can't be here because she's at home, very pregnant with fraternal boy-girl twins. So Revenge of the Sith ends with me watching the birth of fraternal twins. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
That's a whole different kind of experience.
Yeah, and then I sort of realized those things are going to grow up and kill me. But not if I get to them first. I said to my
sits you down and says, "Did I ever tell you the story of Darth?"
No, that's me.
Yeah.
That's me, Michael.
I like to do that. I like to do that when I wake up.
Not a story your mother would tell you.
I'm not surprised.
Oh my gosh. Dads use their powers from passion, and your mother doesn't? It's like I'm gonna turn them against her. Yeah. Oh my lord. Yeah, there's a lot of weird shit that happens, guys. You know, I was sometimes I gotta tap out like from this shit from time to time, because it is, and it's cool. Like I'm happy for all of it, but I looked at my wife and I went, yeah, I was on a stream last night with Dean Cain. You remember how I was a huge Lois and Clark fan? And he said hi to our kids. I asked him if he'd say hi to our kids. And I went, this is freaking ridiculous. You know, I mean, before it was sold to Disney or whatever, way back when my kids were born, I think I've been to Skywalker Ranch twice. And you got to imagine, like, I had 2 newborns and my buddies were working there and they've done stuff for Lucasfilm back in the day. And I'm like walking around Skywalker Ranch. I'm like, oh, I'm here now. Yeah, it's such a trip, man. This life is crazy. You know? Yeah. Yeah. Ask your mom. Yeah, absolutely. There it is. Yeah, we gotta talk about this. I told my kids the other day, I was right. Your mother's taking over. Please don't hurt me. You know, and then of course the kids cut her hands off. That's just how it went, you know.
Do it.
Yeah, do it. God, that dude. Yeah, he's a scary. You try to imagine, you know, him reading bedtime stories and kids just not going to sleep. Yeah. Oh, Star Trek. Listen, I'm a supporter of the Star Trek stream. I don't care what anybody says. But yeah, Disney is where IPs go to die. It is, the Afghanistan of IPs. Like, there's no getting around it.
I remember saying to you once, Seth, I don't think they can do this. I don't think they can. I don't think they can make good stuff. And you're like, no shit. I was like, yeah, it is actually pretty obvious now that you say it like that.
Well, because they, what's the word I'm looking for? Creativity and being able to do things, all of the stuff that we do is, you know, they say it's true. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. But at the level you have to be at in Comicsgate and in the Iron Age, because I include Razor Fist and Eric July and all these guys in it, and everyone else who's doing stuff I haven't even heard of. Hell, I even think of Tom McDonald as being in the Iron Age, you know, with the stuff he's doing. He's got his own business. He's outside of that system.
Totally. I mean, that's what it is. It's not like Comicsgate where it's a thing you take part in, where it's like everyone goes and it's a hash. No. It's a thing that people are using. It's a term people are using to describe what this is that's happening. It's the melding of technology with creativity and doing things by yourself in a way that just wasn't possible before. And you know, people can disagree. Oh well, they don't want to be called that. Whatever. It doesn't really matter. So yeah, anyone who's doing that, in my estimation, currently. And Tom McDonald definitely falls into that.
There's my man. Eric Weathers, guys. Back Battle Brick Road. We are almost to 30K. By the way, Eric, do you see the hats we're sporting in honor of you, brother? We keep it real. You understand? Like, I go to sleep in this hat. I make my kids wear this hat. It's the way it is. That's how it is, man. And I'll say this about Tom McDonald, man. You know, Tom McDonald... he works really hard. You know, he's built something up for himself. He's made smart decisions with the business aspect of things. I just look at this stuff and I think that he figured out, and let me give credit. I always like to give credit because, I mean, I think since his passing, it's affected all of us differently. But John Malin, when he started talking about the Malin, I mean.
Silence.
Why do I? Yeah, exactly. It's so hard to say goodbye to John's campaigns. No, but listen, we gotta be real about this. But when John said, "This is the Malin method. This is what you have to do," he was saying it from a standpoint of my favorite thing. I think you've quoted it, and I've said it before. The best thing I was ever told, I would not be here today doing what I'm doing if it wasn't for the way I'm doing it, if it wasn't for John. He goes, stop saying you're an introvert. We're all fucking introverts. Except for maybe Eric July, Razor Fist, and Ethan. I'm just willing to say that. Go on record. I think they might be extroverts. If you can find a way to play your keyboard and sing to an audience at a comic convention, I think it's safe to say Ethan is an extrovert. But the thing about it is, it's a comic convention, man. That's amazing.
Sumo says, the glare off that forehead. A little warning next time, Bancroft. Sorry, I'll powder my forehead before I take it.
Yeah, exactly, right. That's right. Listen, if you attack my brother's race on this stream, I'm going to lose it, okay? He is my other half. But John said, I don't care if you're an introvert. We're all introverts. Too effing bad. Keep doing it. Keep practicing. Remember that stream where we looked at our first streams on YouTube? Yeah. Holy cow. Nightmare fuel. Nightmare fuel, dude.
Even some of my later streams, it's not much better.
Yeah. I mean, good Lord. You know, I mean, I honestly, when people say, and this is absolutely true, how do you paint and talk at the same time? It's simple. Certainly it grew out of the fact that if I was painting, I didn't have to think about the fact I was talking and streaming. It was distracting me, man, from the nerves of it. It's just, oh man, it's rough.
Yeah, I mean, people don't realize I'm an introvert as well.
I get
it's
it.
It's just because you do your show and you're lively and all that sort of stuff, but
yeah, it doesn't mean you
remember as well. I'm sitting by myself in a cottage.
Yes,
talking to a computer.
100%. Yeah, I mean, I was telling my wife Mel the other day.
Oh.
Scare the chat. You know, you just drop an occasional. I was talking to my wife Lauren. Let's really start messing with their heads. Who is this guy? You know, but I was saying to, how do I put this? John is the kind of person, oh God, I hope to God he's not watching this and he never sees this, but John is the kind of person that I like doing work for, And I like the way he does things, because if he says something, it's gonna happen. If he says he's gonna do something, he's gonna do it. He's gonna be there. And if he doesn't like something, he's like, no, this doesn't work for me. And there's no bullshit there. And I like that. Like, he's like Michigan as a human. And I will tell you, I like that, where was that? There was someone said that, John, imposter syndrome. I actually will say this. There's never been anything that, I'm not saying this in a whatever way, but I think, imposter syndrome is one of those things I'm convinced it's not my generation. I'm the tail end of, or the in-between generation of Gen X. I think it comes a lot out of that expression, you gotta fake it till you make it. Which you hope that pilots and brain surgeons don't do that. You know? Like, you never, like, pilots go, you gotta fake it till you, no, are you a pilot or not? Like, I'm not getting on this plane if you're not a pilot. For me, it's like this. And you said this before, if you lie, you cannot lie on YouTube. Take care, Mo Biggs. Absolutely great having you here, my friend. But you can't lie on YouTube, and if you are fake, you will fall apart. Ripa talks about that a lot. That it's like you see people, introverts disappear to recharge, but we don't become another character. I'm the same dude who's been sitting at his desk or table or on the floor drawing for 40-something years. I know a lot more, right? Like, I've evolved those things, but I'm not, like, pretending. If you pretend that you like talking about this stuff, gosh, what's a really good example? Heather Antos. Watching Heather Antos talk to a comic book fan and trying to pretend to love comics enough to not hate him was the funniest shit I've ever seen.
I haven't seen that.
We were e-fapping it on Ethan's.
That she did?
Yeah. We were e-fapping it on Ethan's, and it was excruciating. She was just like, he was like, so are you a fan of The Mask? And she's like, I actually didn't like that movie. And you could just see the guy's face, like, depressed. You know what the thing is, too? I love our hats, dude. I'm a big fan of wearing these hats, but I have to tell you something. I have heard, I could be wrong, but I have heard that if you... God, that's terrifying to see myself on screen at that scale. But if you're going to have Battle Brick Road hats, you should always do it in threes. Welcome to the stream. The great Eric Weathers. Boom! This is... You're watching it happen, folks.
With our powers combined.
We are the
Beard's
Rush.
Coming back. You look like you're of age again, Eric.
Mm-hmm.
You were looking a little juvenile for a while there.
It's coming
Eric's
back.
like...
Finally.
I'm bringing sexy back, man. Yeah, Eric. I listen. Was it because I brought up Ninja Turtles a while back? Is that why you're here, man? That's what I believe.
It must have been what's keep. I've been trying to sleep, been in bed, and it's not working.
It's
And
pointless,
so I
man.
said, "What's YouTube
Sleep
up to?"
Yeah, sleep is.
And
I told my wife that. My wife goes, "When are you coming to bed?" I was like, "Do you mean location B? Do you mean where they get you? No, they ain't getting me, honey.
That's why
They ain't getting me. It's not happening."
Yes, sir.
I mean, I'm.
I still have cobwebs in my brain right now. Literally, I can't sleep. So why not hang out with the two of you?
When I come onto a stream really early at like 5 a.m., I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah.
This is where we're at, folks. This is what we're talking about. We've got the great Eric Weathers up in this, and I'm gonna tell you something. Eric July will come to your house if you do not respect the great Eric Weathers. That it's on. So
It's in my contract, actually.
It's in the contract. That's right, man. That's right, man. Oh, man, I will tell you this. I have so many people when I'm out and about in this area. People ask me, "Can I ask you a question? What is that hat? Where did you get that?" I'm not joking. And I think you stumbled upon one of the most brilliant perks that you could have, which is a patch that allows you to customize a hat of your choice. That is what I think is so... It's such a smart idea. I hope more people do it, but it's like this logo is perfect scale for a cap, man. It's perfect.
I'm wondering if it's perfect scale for a billboard. I've been thinking about getting a billboard.
Dude.
They're not that expensive.
Especially if it's in an area where they don't update the billboard that often. They might just leave it up there. I see that sometimes. I've still got, there's a billboard near me that still is advertising Indiana Jones, the movie. I'm like, they didn't pay.
It's Last Crusade.
6
It's been there forever.
Yeah, man.
Billboard, you know?
Dude, I'm telling you what, man. There's so much. I mean, you're seeing it already, man. I mean, you're almost at 30K on your own website, dude. It's a good thing you only do just this. You've got no other work going on. You're not lettering, jackasses like me on the comic
I'm
book.
so glad I don't have to interact with anybody else.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And the
Pure
fact
freedom.
that pure freedom, dude. Isn't that what it is? It's like dude, guys, I'm telling you right now. So I just talked about 2005, right? Well, we're cruising to 2024. So in in
Don't remind me.
8 days, my children are 18. Ponder.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, ponder that. And we've already called movers, so we're gonna have all their stuff in the lawn at midnight.
Good.
It's gonna be great, and get out there and make a go of it. But it's with all
Sean,
the crazy. Yeah.
Unfortunately, it is dinner time for me, and I
Go have dinner. I'm here with Eric. We're gonna close out this morning. It's only 3 a.m. here.
This triumvirate. Who was the original triumvirate? Cassus and Caesar and what's his name with the P? Can't remember. I'm one of them.
Go get
Caesar,
dinner, man.
honestly.
It's late. Don't bring that artsy. We're not on Australia time.
History.
I'm about to eat a bowl of Frankenberry.
Always great to hang out. If you do more of this,
brother.
Sean, this is the perfect time for me. I can do it after work, so I would love to come and hang out with you.
Dude, I'll be doing this more often. My Battle Brick Bros.
Excellent.
That's what we're here for.
Good to see you, Tide Eric. I'll no doubt see
Thank
you
you.
soon. See you soon.
It's good to see you too,
I'm
man.
gonna put him to sleep.
Enjoy your dinner.
With my talk.
I know.
Take care.
Put him back to sleep. Bye.
That's right, man. So, dude, there he goes. He's falling over.
Sing me a lullaby.
I'm working on that dang cover song, and
I can't wait.
Dude, it's killing me. So it's too high for my range, so I've been singing it low and then trying to pitch it up. I'm doing all this stuff, but I'm working it. The trick is that I've got to say the lyrics so fast. It has to be muscle memory.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't. It's like my kids used to listen to 1 Week by that band Bare Naked Ladies because they thought the fast talk was there. So I'd always go, hold it down, watch a hoodwink as it make you stop, think you look at Aquaman and some fish, the dish lovely like a salad, so like a sushi kiss, never touch a frying pan, hot like wasabi when I bust right. Like I'd go through that stuff fast. But it was like with this, it's so fast. Like I've got the lyrics and I just will go through it and I'll try to get the rhyme and I will trip. And it's like, where does it? Oh yeah, what is it? Bring it in, bring it in, bring it in. If you're filled with straw made of tin, time to make a move or evil wins and then begins to kill what this Oz can be. It's liberty. It's not for free. It's not to be or to be. A destiny tied to a daughter's love, sure, but also will and faith and face and fear itself. And she must keep her feelings on the shelf. She's trying. Like it's just freaking like I will practice that like crazy.
That's pretty
dude.
good.
We're getting there. We're gonna work on it.
Dude,
Dude, I love Battle
I
Brick
know
Road. Dude, I love Battle Brick Road so much,
Thank you.
man. And I'm glad that I mean, I know you and Zeb have a freaking, a plan. You have this conversation. But it's the way that certain characters are entering the fray not immediately in volume 1 really does make part 2 special to me. Like that's what's so exciting about it. Like you did this, you played the long game in a sense so that there's like all this new stuff to look forward to. And I dig it, man.
Yeah.
You guys are crushing it.
Thanks, man. I don't know. We're just trying to have fun. Trying to tell a good story.
We're having fun reading it. So, and
Yeah.
again, the merch is killer. Look at these hats, guys.
I got to
Back it
put
now.
these up on the campaign, just up on the website, just to have them, just to sell right now, because they don't need to be a part of any stretch goals or anything. I can just sell them.
Oh, dude, you should totally. Yeah.
I need to do that with this and the trading cards. Those little knickknacks.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's crazy, man, when a campaign is going, and especially, you know, you've been doing this stuff and you've been making it happen for such a while, man. It's like, it's weird because you feel like you're always on, like you should always be doing something. And I was thinking to myself, you know, these streams, and I'm going to be doing a lot of them, you know, it's my goal now is to, like, you know, get, you know, it's just like, it's a lot of, the summer is always a tough time because everybody's in the house and you know how it is. It's like, it's craziness. And, you know, and I love it, but I also need to kind of get some isolation time in order to be able to do this. And now that I'm doing this and I'm going to be doing these streams more and more, my goal is I'm going to have you guys, you know, I'm going to drop that link and you guys come in here. And so if you say, hey, I want to get some, you know, I got to promote Battle Brick Road more. I want to do some, you know, pop on a stream. It's here. You come here, we call it up, and we just tell people, like, back, you know, because, you know, I love playing
all these
the trailers.
insomniacs and people not in America.
Yeah.
Whoever they are. We should do this in the morning because there's more chance of international backers being asleep and I don't have to pay for their shipping.
That's right. I
know,
know.
we
What am
gotta
I
be
doing?
more strategic.
I'm going to do both. Well, you know, strategery is my strength. As opposed
Diversity
to the English
is
language, man.
not your strength. Strategery is your strength.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It's crazy too because, you know, I look at this stuff and for all the people, and you guys know this who catch the streams later and things like that, they have a great time, man. Like when we hang out and when there's places to go, I know for me that was big during those early days before I was even doing a book, was being able to go and hang out and watch streams when I was working and I was just looking at some of the nonsense. You know, and so having people who are passionate about, you know, comics and making comics, and now having another painting brother to add to my roster, man, with you, it's like, hell
me?
yeah, you do.
You know what? Here's a good
hold on.
Channel thing for you.
Yeah.
You teach me. You say no, you're doing that wrong. You're doing that right, and we do it live.
We do it live
for you.
Okay.
You teach me how to paint. You hold my hand while I do it. You know,
I'd love to, man.
Like Ghost, but with painting instead of sculpture.
Yeah, but with, like, instead of pottery.
Oh
my love.
Yeah. See, I think that could really, you know, I think that would just bring in the memberships and the super chats like none other. Especially if we're
Dude,
touching.
let me say, I love getting together and talking, painting, and drawing with people, man. It's one of my absolute favorite things in the world because, for me, it's, you know, I mean, and obviously, like, there was the aspect of me teaching forever, but it's the biggest thing, was the, I could not paint, and I was terrified of color. And it was, there's at the YMCA where we lived, they had all these different classes for swimming. I probably have told you this before, but they had all these different classes for swimming, and one of the classes was swimming 1. They had swimming 2 or intermediate swimming or whatever, but they had a class there that was the most ingeniously titled class of all time, and it was called Terrified of the Water. And you knew who that class was for. And I started teaching my...
though.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. And you see all these people, right, who are terrified. Like, they're like going, I can't do swimming 1. They know it. Do you know what I mean? They know they can't do swimming 1. And so I always said that I ended up finding my own version of it. But when I was teaching, I go, I really want my class to be called Terrified of Color and Painting. Like, I really think that needs to be it because I was so afraid to paint, man. I was so afraid to paint. Yep, Moromi's got it. He's like, witches are terrified. He knows. You know? Very small rocks float. Witches, not so much.
Churches.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, that's right. At the pool. I'm out of here. Yeah. Don't worry, I'm not going to show you that. I'm not going to show you me at the pool because, I would sink like a witch. But
that's the after party. That's the after stream green room hangout. That's what that's for.
Yeah, that's what we do, guys. We keeps it real. But to me, you know, when I'm doing this stuff, the thing I said to my students, I'm like, please never think that I was a natural at painting. I was like, please don't insult me, guys, by thinking that all this hard work it took to not be afraid of this it was something that happened overnight, because it was not at all, dude. Oh my God, it was nerve-wracking.
I find the trouble I have is I'm so inconsistent with it that I'm still trying to figure out the technique that works, the process that works for me, because I feel like when I was active and painting all the time, I hit a groove and it was working, and then it was like I lost it. And I've been chasing that dragon ever since.
It's just quantity. It's
I know.
Well, here's the funny
problem
thing.
with being inconsistent.
My studio mate figured this out, and it blew my mind. And he's the polymath. He's like my other painting brother. He's a genius. He was having trouble getting into a groove with his paintings, and he reasoned that he had to do a certain amount of paintings to get good every week, and he had no freaking time to do it. So he bought himself an egg timer, and he started doing 30-minute paintings. That's all he had, pencils down at 30 minutes. So instead of doing one painting and working on it an hour and a half every time he got a chance, he got an hour and a half, he did 3 paintings. And so he felt like, wow, productive. And at first, it was, for him, he was like, these things were, you know, like, this isn't working. I'm going to see if I can find it without getting a virus on my computer, because his website was like, God bless him. But I want to see if I can show you what these things were like. And he started working in oils. Now, he was a very detailed fantasy art painter. And he said, and he had worked in the industry, he goes, but I was slow as hell. And he goes, and at the same time, yeah, I'll show you his, I love that it says not secure, so fingers crossed here. But he was slow as hell, and he just worked, and he goes, and I didn't know how to paint. He goes, I was painting, but I didn't know how to paint. Like, everything was labor intensive. And so, let me see here, Chrome tab, there we go. So I'm going to show you his work that he did in his 20s. There's some Lord of the Rings stuff. There's a bunch of different stuff. So this was his work when he was a beginning sort of fantasy illustrator. Yeah. And so let me see if I can, click on this stuff. So this is the stuff he was doing. Some of you guys may recognize some of this stuff because it was on book covers and things like that. Isn't this crazy?
Yeah. See, I want to do that kind of stuff.
But watch this bit, because it gets crazy, man, when you see this, what he's doing now, right? So this is what he was doing, and he said, I didn't know how to paint. And that was, I forget where that Batman piece was, but some of these are book covers. He used himself for photo reference for that. That was like a Lovecraft piece. There's another piece he used himself for photo reference on. So he did just a bunch of like different stuff like this, right? Mm-hmm. And then he decided at a certain point, he's like, I don't, God knows why, man. Oh, Daily Paintings Archives. Let's see if this works. So these were, and I think he tried to put them in here chronologically, but these were his 30-minute daily oil paintings. So he'd get a bird's nest that he had, and he would just paint it, and he'd paint the same thing over and over, 30 minutes, and pencils down when it was over. And he said, you see some of the early ones, and I'm really trying to be fussy with it. Mm-hmm. And then as time goes on, he's like, and I said, I'm not going to try to finish these out. And if they're bad, they're bad. If they're not finished, I'll do a YF master copy, and then he started just painting objects, and I'm going to just do a ton of them, regardless of how they come out. And he just started painting these things. And he would just grab random things and say 30 minutes, flip the timer over. And he said the thing that was great for him about it was no matter how things,
head even in there. Look at that.
Yeah, that's his wife Monica. Yeah, and he said, I'm gonna keep working on this stuff. I mean, and just go. I love this one. Yeah. Can you believe that? But for every ones he did, like when he got to a subject that he really was interested in painting, then he started doing landscapes and started rediscovering his passion for things like landscapes, right? So now, after doing that, and you saw his fantasy work, so now that he had done all those, and I actually built this site for him because he wasn't getting around to it. So, like, not this, like, he gave me the bits, and I just plugged the stuff in. So these are his landscape paintings. These are large-scale landscape paintings he does now. And these things, I wish he had a better photo of that one, but I have one in my room he gave me that I'm sure will be worth some green. This is a giant painting, and he did this in an hour and a half or so. He has a time lapse of it, and he just has a giant brush. Bob Rossing the hell out of it. But where's the one? This one is staggering.
It just looks like every field in Kansas.
Yeah. Isn't it wild?
Yeah.
I mean, this sold for a couple, God knows how much. I think it was like $6,000 or $7,000 or whatever it was. But it was my view at the studio for a while. So I had that in front of me. It was better than a window. And the dude is just a machine. And so he was the guy who really taught me to understand. And now he's doing more illustration work. And his illustration work actually is taking on the characteristics of what he learned doing this stuff. So, man, I tell you what, like, this journey that we're on is not over, man. It's like I never thought I'd be doing the shit I'm doing now, man. Ever. I thought I'd be dead by now, so that's kind of...
Every day is a blessing, Sean. Every single day.
It is a blessing, dude. Yeah.
But it's a curse for everybody else around you, so there's a balance there.
Well, listen, my wife, my long-suffering wife, dude. Yeah. It was so cute, though. She's still... It's funny. I usually fall asleep after her, but every morning she tries to tuck me in. She'll have the pillow over my face and just pat me down really hard.
Well, you want to make sure that you're snug,
Yeah,
snug
that's
as a
right.
bug. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And she's got this nickname for me. She says to me, Die. She says it over and over again. And, I don't know. I guess maybe it's like a roll of the dice or something.
Yeah.
She's like screaming, I'll set you free. The usual, and God just bless her. What a saint.
Yeah, whispering those soft, sweet nothings into your ear.
Yeah, screaming at the kids, like, start the car.
You're nuts.
It's great, man. Bless her heart. Bless
her
heart.
This fella of artwork you just showed me, that was oil?
That was oil. He works in everything, and let me tell you something, man. So my brother, and like he is my brother, if you want to talk to somebody who is the kindest, like, it's almost unbearable, the nicest, kindest person you will ever meet about art or painting, he would talk to you in a New York Minute. And here's the cool thing. When he was proofreading, going over Nosfero for me, his wife is actually a professional editor for publishers of all kinds of books. He goes, I checked out this guy's site and all of his stuff. Dang, he's really good.
Who, me?
Mm-hmm. Sorry, it's not all going to be kind and happy here on the stream.
What website was he looking at?
He was looking at your lettering, and then he went to, he found out you did, what do you call it? I told him about the lettering stuff that you were doing, like the packs, and then I showed him Battle Brick Road, so we went to the Battle Brick Road site. So everything. Yeah. He is a hardcore, when I say he's a polymath, he was hanging out with Roger Hanlon, the leading one of the leading researchers on cuttlefish camouflage, and he proposed a hypothesis on how cuttlefish, whose eyes can only see black and white, are able to replicate color. And this had never been floated out before. He floated it out to this guy, and this guy was like, oh my God, that might be the answer. This is like... Wow. He was like, because their eyes are... Like, they're able to move their eyelids so they're two little pinholes. We did this experiment where we shot infrared light through a blanket in 2 different points, and it made a black and white pattern. So maybe they use those pinholes to create a black and white pattern that's basically the math of the colors, and they can replicate that pattern, and it's incidental to them that they can't see color. And I'm looking at this guy and going, you are fucking crazy, dude. I love you, but you're nuts.
That is nuts.
Well, sorry,
God,
my glasses. I gotta fix my glasses. Could you read this chat for me while I fix them?
Yes, the first Battle Brick Road is excellent. From Aldian. Thank you.
There it is.
Look at that
My
bass,
bass
by the
playing
way.
brother. It's good to have you
Yeah.
in the house. Yeah, I mean, guys, yeah, cuttlefish is delicious. Yeah, but they scare me. They're solving problems like those dang, what do you call them? Humboldt squid, which there are a few
Put them
things
in
that scare
charge.
me more. You know, you got to stop it. But yeah, his name is, let me see if I can put his Instagram there for you, because he does have an Instagram. My brother,
Drop that in the
my other
private
brother.
chat.
Yeah, I will. Let me see if I can find, where is my brother on here?
So I've got this Amazon wish list that you gave me this list of colors of paints and brushes and
Yes.
palettes and paper, and it's been sitting there. I need it's expensive. You know,
Yes.
I already own Photoshop. I already own Procreate. This real stuff.
Dude,
There's,
I will. Let me
there's
see if
cost
he's
in
still
there.
got- I might send you some paint, so you never know.
Oh my
It can
goodness.
happen. You know, it can happen. I've seen it happen. It happens to people.
I
don't know if it's-
when I started looking into it and really digging in, I fell in love with Aldrich Bierstadt. I don't know if you
Yes,
said that right.
big fan of his stuff. Yeah, he
Wow.
influenced this painting behind me to hang in there.
No kidding.
Yeah, you know the giant wave he has with the seal lions or the seals, and it's crashing. There's this one painting of his, and it influenced that painting behind me. Yeah, when I painted that, I was like looking at his stuff straight up.
Okay.
Love his stuff. You would also like Ivan Ivanovsky. You'd love his stuff. Let me see if I can
might
call
know
that
his
up.
stuff.
I think we may have talked about him. And you may, yeah, I think you do. Let me see here.
Not the
I
YouTuber,
referenced-
but the painter.
Yes, the painter. Yeah, I don't think he this guy's, ever since he died, he hasn't been big on YouTube. I don't know what his deal is. It's like he's not even
slacker.
trying.
Yeah.
But this dude, I've got a nice high res of it here. Let me see if I can present this. Where the hell is it? God, I tell you what. Share screen. Chrome tab. There it is. Is that it right there? There we go. So yeah, this dude is insane.
Sumo's onto me. There he is.
Sumo is. So
This
yeah,
is-
so this.
This I need,
Go
to be
ahead.
on, I need to stream more on my own channel and just have it. By the way, the link is in the description.
That's right, it is, man. The link is in the description, people. Make it happen. Make it happen, man. But I love all of these. There's some amazing artists out there and some folks that I'm always telling people, like, there's a contemporary artist who paints some of those beautiful figures you're ever going to see. His female figures are amazing. But his backgrounds are amazing. He works in watercolor, gouache, and oils. His name is Nick Alm, A-L-M. And Nick Alm's paintings are just incredible. And what I love about him is he painted a nude figure, and some crazy feminist was like going, I don't know how this model would feel about, just being out there topless like in a field, as if he snuck up on her and did a oil painting of her. And he goes about this being, whatever. And there's a reply from someone going, I'm sure he had the model's permission to paint her like this. And it was the girl who posed replying. It was gangster,
and it was his
man.
wife.
Yeah, it's like, she's his girlfriend. She's also a painter. And I was dying. I was like, oh my God.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
check this
hilarious.
site out and get into Battle Brick Road. Yeah, guys, this is the best time in the world right now, because Battle Brick Road, now that it's got its own site, it is a fully immersive site. It's got your soundtrack. It's got your individualized cover that you can order, which is the special edition cover, cover SE. Why am I talking about this when I could also be showing it? That is the real question, Eric. That is the real question. Inquiring minds want to know.
They want to know.
They want to know, why am I doing this? And that is, my wife has been asking it now for 23 years. Yes, this is what we're talking about, guys. We're talking about Battle Brick Road because we are Battle Brick Bros. That's how it goes. So you have got cover A right there by the great Eric Weathers. Don't get it twisted, or you will be twisted into a knot by Eric July. You've got John Malin, the coach. May rest in peace. Gone too soon, but he will be back because he doesn't know how to stop working.
Oh, he's not actually dead. Okay.
No, he's still with us. You should know. Okay. You probably still got work on your
I've been
plate,
seeing
dude.
more of him than anybody these past couple of weeks.
I bet you have. I bet you have your own private live streams, baby. That's what it is. But this cover, which is a reuniting of both the colorist and the artist of Jawbreakers, that is the Boston Tea Party of Comicsgate history. That is where it was founded. That is where it happened. And this man, Eric Weathers, was there as well. That's how it works, man. Making this stuff happen.
When my grandkids say, "Grandpa, what did you do during the great comic wars of the 2020s?" I can say, "I was there."
I was there. Yeah. And this is the other one too, guys. I talk about this cover all the time. The $34 special edition cover. Now, you know what's going to be in between, within the cover is going to be exceptional, and we've seen some great behind-the-scenes artwork. There's some on this page, which I'll get to. But this cover, all of the individual elements of this cover are able to be run through a bit of software so that they can be organized into a unique pattern. So the characters are standalone elements, the individual bricks are standalone elements, and when they are configured, Eric will look at each one, so it will be through computer and through the way that it's set up in the software. They will be original. They will be aesthetically good, because those two eyes over there, from the great Eric Weathers, again, never get it twisted. He will be looking at these, so his eyes will pass over every single one of these covers. You will get a print. You will also get this cover unique to you. You will be the only person on the planet who has your version of this cover. They will be only available on this site. Do not miss it. And if you're looking for a way to move this book and move that number, that's a way to do it. Then you've got, this is a big one. You've got, of course, the Eric Weathers cover here, paired with a second printing of issue 1. If you need to catch up here in Comicsgate, guys, we're big about you guys being caught up and not ever having these things go out of print so that you can jump in on this stuff. And by the way, let us know your backer number in the chat if you back it up right now during this stream. You've got cover A right here. You've got Kelsey Shan's cover on issue number 1 right there.
Cover
First
C.
issue. That's right. Cover C. And you've got this right here. You've got cover A as well. And then over here, the same thing. If you want to get caught up and you want the Dynamic Duo bundle with cover B, you've got it right there, guys. Right there. And if you want to double your pleasure right here with the special edition cover, it's on sale right now. $54.99. It's a steal to get the Kelsey Shannon cover. If you guys are like me and you like a reader copy in addition to a copy to have bagged and boarded, this is your opportunity to do so with the second printing. You can get the special edition cover as well. And of course, one of my favorite tiers right here that's also on sale right now, guys, is you can get all 3 covers. Cover A, cover B, and the special edition cover. So this will keep you in the mix. You will not miss a single one of these covers if you back this.
Now let me tell you, there's something. You're
please.
seeing a lot of stuff on there on sale, like discounts. We have a little over 21 days left on this campaign before we close out I guess it will be 63 days. We're closing it officially on October 27th. Not shutting it down, but we're going quote unquote in demand, which isn't a real thing on my own website, but we're making it a real thing anyways.
Yep.
And all those discounts are going away. So if you haven't purchased it and you still want to, and you want to save the $5 here, the $25 there, get them before the campaign closes out. Sean, I'm going to share my screen.
Yeah, hang on one second. Let me switch to the. There we go. I want to switch to the artist cam just
thank
so
you,
I can
Aldian.
see this. There we go. Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you for backing that. I have that covered. Oh, my stars and garters, as we say. Holy cow, dude.
You like
Holy
that?
cow.
I'm
saying that as an Indian. I can say that. It's not offensive when I say holy cow. Go ahead.
I say it as an Indian too, but feather, not dot.
Yes, that's right. Well, I've adopted you. You're a part of now my giant 1 billion person tribe.
I have no idea if I have any Indian blood in me, but you know what? I'm just going to claim it. Name it and claim it, That's what they do.
That's right. That's how we do it.
An older page next to a newer page. Some of these are getting drawn out of order. I'm wrapping up the big action sequence at the end of the chapter, at the end of the first chapter of this book, so chapter 3. And
for us art nerds, can you zoom a little? At least on the first page of the squirrel. I love your Your shots are so good, dude. Your wide shots are sick.
They're so hard to draw, but it's worth it.
You're moving the camera like a freaking legend.
So many times I will draw up over and over again just to get it feel right and have the characters look like they're in the right spot and all that kind of stuff. So yeah.
That's right. Yeah. All right. Here's another one for you. God bless you, my bass playing brother.
Thank you.
There it is. Eric is an amazing artist. Right on, man. No doubt.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm super excited about this book. I'm super excited about the artwork that's coming out. I wish they all could be California girls.
Is Zeb flipping out? Is he excited
Yeah.
as the pages come in, man? Come on now.
Yeah, he is. It's been a lot of fun to play around in this playground.
Yeah,
and,
man.
I want to do. I want more time. I need more time. Got more time?
Huh?
Just in the day, not like I need an extension. I just need to be able to sink myself into a bit more.
Yeah, that's when at least for me, my wife looks at me when I said, I wish I had more time. She's like, what would you do with more time? And I go, more work. And she's like, you need to work on yourself, She's like, we got to take a vacation.
No, it's not that I want to do more work. I want to get this done. I want to get it out and get it into people's hands. And because when you're crowdfunding, you get that pressure on you. You get that.
Oh, dude, look at this.
People are expecting it, and you want to make it good. 30-hour days.
That's right, man. Let me tell you something, guys, and you guys know the campaign. It's always, it's for the last, I don't know how long. It's the first thing in my description on all my videos. Back my brother's amazing book here is like the first thing I have, man. But it's
hide
because
this real quick.
Yeah, please. Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry. Let me. Yeah. This doesn't disappear like it does on Ecamm. Let me see. Oh, dude.
I'll bring it back up in a sec. I just got to switch it, and I don't want to scroll through certain.
Oh,
pages.
hide yours. Gotcha. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. There's some spoiler. You're probably looking at it behind the scenes.
I might be, but my vision is such that it's so small that you're safe with me, dude.
Let's see. Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, I can't show that. I can't show that. I can't.
Yeah, man. You gotta leave a little something.
I'm ready to show everything.
Dude, I am too, but that's why I got kicked off of Tinder. Listen, man, I've been sitting here, think about this, right? They're printing it right now, and they're doing their, crazy, meticulous work that they do. I am sitting here with the proof of this thing, and I want to show everything. You've already seen it all. Like, this book, but you're the only person I can talk to about it.
Yeah.
It's agony, man. It's so rough.
All right, you can show it again.
All right, here we go, man. Oh, dude, I love seeing this stuff. Boom! Boom! Do not miss, guys. That's right, man. You know how it goes. Creator-owned comics. That's the way it is. Yeah, Sumo Thori, man. Channel member, God bless you. Look at that. I mean, come on, son. My highest praise I have for action scenes, and I was actually talking to Gabe about this artist Akeon, who he's got working on the book he's doing with Dean Cain, is to say it reminds me of Gaijin Studios, in particular my mentor Brian Stelfreeze. That's what you're getting right there, is what I loved. And I can actually tell you, there's a panel, I guarantee you've never seen it because it was only a backup issue in a small indie book, The Heretic, but there's an action sequence in this book he did called, or this character he did called Maximum Velocity, that he did with Carl Story, the great inker Carl Story. And it was a scene that I came to understand storytelling from watching the panels and the color work he did on it. And the character's kicking a figure, like a similar thing. It's a tough thing to do, and you just crushed it with Scarecrow in this, dude.
Thank you.
You crushed it. Man, and great guns, too, man. That was another thing. Man, did he lay into me about firearms. Like, he was just like, you've got to draw them correct, because he was a big-time reference guy.
Yeah.
And, yeah, man.
Draw them right or just make them up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, is it as good as a Rob Liefeld gun in terms of accuracy? No.
No, not at all.
Those cable guns, and listen, I'm going to be telling you guys, I know people crack on Rob all the time. It is what it is. I was drawing those cable guns when I was that age, dude. I had some wicked shoulder pads going on, man.
How could you not?
Oh, man. Dude, look at that. Oh, great job with the mouth there, man. That's killer. Really got it, man. Boom. Oh, question for Eric from Aldian right here. He says, in the back of my Battle Brick Road book is a more stylized version of the comic. Can Eric please shed a little light on what that is?
Yeah, that is a backup story called Meet Me in St. Louis, and it's sort of a bridge between certain pages in the book. So what number? Well, I got it right here. Mm-hmm. It's a bridge that tells you what happened between these two pages. A little bit of what happened between these two pages.
Oh, hold on. I gotta make it big. Wait.
Yeah,
let me see here.
Make me big.
Remove this for a second, and then I gotta do. Hang on. Switch you over there. There we go. Boom, guys. Look at it.
Yeah. So it takes place right here.
Yeah.
In between these two pages, and it just sort of tells the story of how Dorothy, is found, essentially, how she gets out of
and surviving
that wasteland.
Yeah,
and
man.
It was drawn by 6 AM Comics, Mark Marianelli, and it was written by Zeb as well, Rick Road author himself. And
dude, let me tell you, Aldian is saying, damn, I'm glad I asked that question because I thought it was just an outtake or something like that. Yeah, guys, the story, and that was like funny. Like I'm doing this silly song for it, and silly but kind of not silly. And I got to this point, where I was like, it's driven by a daughter's love, and I was like, that's like this is some. So, I mean, I don't know if Zeb is in particular a fan of this, but it's Dickensian, man. You know what I mean? It's beautifully Dickensian, and as we keep saying, throughout. Yeah,
I don't know what that means.
Okay, how about this? It's a Christmas Carol. It's Oliver Twist. It's Harry Potter.
Okay.
It's this kid.
Okay,
yeah. In dire straits, man.
Yeah.
Kind of having this journey to being a hero in the best sense. And I look at this stuff, man. The Battle Brick Road print collection, which is gonna be epic. I'm gonna put so much into that, dude. Like I do, man. You know how it is, dude. It's gonna be time of my life. That's what you got to throw into it. And of course, you know me. Lauren said this to me the other day, and I promised her I wouldn't say this to you because I go, if I say that to him, he's gonna be like, the pressure. But she's like, so when are we gonna get the record? And I go, maybe he's got more shit to do before that.
Well,
We're not there
the funny
yet.
thing is, I was thinking the other day, I was like, we got the money, we got the songs already. I could probably order the records now.
Dude, it's like, and no, I did. Let me just say this right now, groomsman. You were at my wedding. I did not just call him a Dickensian. That's how dare you, sir? But yeah, Aldian's saying right here, I think it's great. I'm going to read the book again with that in mind. Yeah, it's. I don't know how to describe this, but it's like when it started as Operation Zephyr or Oz, as an acronym. There's this real evolution through the change in the comic industry of taking the stuff around to conventions, to Comicsgate, to reaching out to John when John was looking for someone who had the design sensibilities and the lettering, sensibilities and acumen of Orzechowski, and all of this stuff kind of coming together. This book is the audience inside of Comicsgate lifting it up and sort of saying, and seeing it and going, we've been waiting for this. And the action, I'm almost kind of frightened to see where your work goes by book 3, because the book 1 is great. Book 2 is insane. It's I always say that the moment I had with that book, and now I've fallen in love with way more pages, but the moment I had looking at your work was when you showed me this page in the drawing phase. It wasn't even colored yet. And I went, it's done now. Like he's smashed through this other wall, and it's a total level up, man.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I don't know why it happens, but I just keep getting better. Like I see it, and that's when you can see it as yourself, you know, because a lot, you know, it could be, we're our own worst critics as artists, and we're like, this is garbage, and then, you know, when your mom looks at it, she thinks it's the most wonderful thing in the world. So I've reached that point where I'm like super happy with way more of my artwork than I am not happy with it.
Yep.
So yeah, it's a great place to be as a creative. I think that's part of the reason why I like painting, because I'm still chasing that.
Yeah.
Where
man.
I know where I'm at and I know where I want to be.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that chase.
I do too. I feel very, very fortunate that and it's funny considering, you know, that I worked in art education for so long, but I've been waiting to get around a bunch of driven artists and independent creators all this time. And when I was a kid, I thought, oh, I'm going to get into the comic book industry, you know, and when I did stuff and I was freelance, it's not the same thing. You know what I mean? And when I was, you know, then I was like, oh, well, maybe it'll be Image Comics, maybe it'll be these places. But there was nothing like Comicsgate where you're meeting real independent creators who know about, you know, talking to, you know, printers, talking to colorists, talking, you know, collaborating with people, true collaboration to build something. And the greatest freaking fan base that is in pop culture right now, period. I mean, these guys are crazy. When people in the mainstream see our projects getting into the millions of dollars, when they see them getting into six figures, when they see them merchandising, they see, you know, records, I think what intimidates them so much about seeing it is they know they're not willing to put that work in. That's what makes them so frustrated, because they want someone else to put the work in for them. Yeah. And we're just going, man.
Yeah, we're certifiably insane, all of us.
We are.
We absolutely are.
100%.
And God bless our wives for sticking with it, because it's this creative lifestyle is nonsense. It doesn't
wild.
make sense at all. It doesn't seem like it should even matter, or not matter, but it should even work. But somehow it does. It is. It's almost 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm gonna try to go back to sleep.
You should try to get back to sleep. It's 4 here, so I've still got some hours in me. No, but listen, I'm gonna wrap up the stream. Let me do this. I'm gonna wrap up the stream because I'm at 2 hours and 42 minutes, which means in the last 12 hours I have streamed 5 hours. So I'm coming back, man. I'm here
like
for you
my
guys.
Launch day. Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing this, man. Sacrifice for the art, guys. Let me say this, man. Eric does need to get some sleep, guys. We're going to wrap up. I'm going to play the channel members' credits. Thank you, guys, for being here. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Michael Bancroft. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Make sure you hit that like on the way out. As I always like to say, guys, back these fine books, but speak easy, stay gold, keep the faith and peace, all of you wonderful people. And we're going to keep kicking ass. I'm going to have more of these streams so we can get together, promote this stuff. Take care, everybody. Much love.